What's up, everybody? Welcome into this week's episode of the Watch List. This is episode 4, and today is February 23rd. Thank you for joining us. My name is Chase. I am your host for today's show, joined alongside my co-hosts Jagger, Jacob, Jordan, and Christian. Really quick before we get into everything, I'm just going to do a little bit of a recap in case you missed it from last week. Last week's episode, we did war movies that entailed Apocalypse Now, 1917, and Pan's Labyrinth. And then after our war movies, we had some trivia with some high stakes. So make sure to tune into that in case you missed it. And we're going to do a little bit of a rundown quick of today's episode for what we're getting into. Today, we're going to be doing what we watched this week. And then we're going to have a sci-fi movie breakdown based on the movies that we chose last week. That's going to include Tenet, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and Blade Runner 2049. And then once that's over, we're going to do this new game called Who's Who. So make sure to stick around until then for the new game. We'll get into more specific details as we go, but then we'll round it out with some trivia and then next week's picks. And we're also going to do news with Jagger. I don't think I mentioned that. Sorry, Jagger. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but
Guys,
that's
listen to
not
me.
going anywhere. That's not going anywhere. We're doing news still. So since I'm talking to Jagger, why don't we just send it to you, Jagger? What's going on, buddy?
What's up? Kind of an uneventful week. Finished up some CPA studying. I got my test this Friday, which is brutal. I got it's a month worth of material. I've studied
Yuck.
115 hours for this test. So that's not fun. But this week I basically just caught up on some Oscar nominations. I watched Anora, Wild Robot, and Flow. Flow was kind of awesome. I give it a 3, but I think about raising it even higher. I finally saw Return to the King. It was good. It was good. It wasn't great. I gave it a 4, but there was just some things I didn't like about it. I don't know what. It just might not just be for me. And
Just
then
shaking his head.
yeah, yesterday and today I just watched a lot of Friends. I watched Monica and Chandler get engaged.
Great episode.
Um, that's basically all I've been doing.
All right. Well, it sounds like you had a little bit of a good list there. Let's shoot it over to Jordan because I was gonna start with Jordan, but I guess now Jordan, you're
Okay.
second place. You're second place. So what's
Wasn't
going on?
didn't start with me. No worries. Yeah. Busy week at work today. Or today. Yeah, it's Sunday.
Right.
This last week, just got back from the slopes. So I'm a little tired. But this week didn't watch too much. Watched Severance episode. Great, obviously. Need to watch the new episode of Invincible. White Lotus comes out tonight, episode 2. And then the movies that we watched. Other than that, I didn't really watch too much.
How'd you do today on the slopes?
It was my best day. Went over to
I
the big
believe
boy
it.
slopes. Went over to the big boy slopes. Definitely ate some shit, but it was fun.
I
My
believe
butt's.
it. You looked good out there.
Thank
You
you.
all
Appreciate
you
that.
all the way to the top.
Went all the way to the top. I did.
Oh, let's go.
Did you go
Yeah.
to Loveland or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to
All
Loveland
right.
again. We tried to go yesterday, and it was so packed that we literally got there and there was no parking. And then we went and got lunch in a town nearby, and then they said to come back at 12. We came back and there was still no parking.
Oh wow.
So then we had
That's
to
crazy.
go. I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning, and we left at 7. Got there 8:30 right when it opened.
So I guess we kind of got lucky, right, when we went?
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
saying. I wasn't really worried about it when we went
Yeah.
Saturday. So that's why I was like, damn, it's packed. But yeah,
All right. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. You looked good out there. Jacob, what's going
appreciate
on,
that.
man?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I think I didn't do much again this week. I don't really do much most of the weeks, but I am moving, as you guys know, in about a week or so, give or take. So doing some packing, prepping for that.
Sad.
What else? Yeah. In terms of things I watched, yeah. I actually started off my week and ended it with 2 5 stars. I had a good little bookend.
Wow.
Started off with Midnight Cowboy, which me and Jagger talked about a bit before we started recording because he watched it as well this week. Incredible. Dustin Hoffman, by the way, we were talking about him with Rain Man. Way better in this, by the way. And Rain Man's great, but he is fantastic in Midnight Cowboy. And
Million times better in
and John
Rayman as
Voight.
Rayman.
John Voight as well, who I'd only known. I mean, I'm 22 years old. I've only known him from National Treasure and the first Mission Impossible.
It's a good
He's
movie
now
though.
I've seen bits and pieces of that. And he plays the main character in that. He's fantastic. That was really good. What else did I watch? I watched the Kill Bill movies, which I'd already seen the first one, but I never watched the second. So I did a double feature on Tuesday night. Definitely liked both of them a lot. Like the first one a lot more than the second. That first one is incredible. I said to in the group chat, Chase and or not Chase, Christian and Jordan, you guys have to watch that because that would literally be like in your top 10 movies ever. I think it's right up your alley. It's really good. And then another big one was The Master, which I watched last night, which I had tried to watch like two other times previously. Like once was in high school, I didn't really love it that much. Tried to give it another shot in college, didn't really like it again. And this was like this time I was like, if I don't like it this time, I'm just done. Like I'm not gonna try it ever again because I've been watching a lot of Paul Thomas Anderson. I thought I might like it more this time, and I gave that 5 stars. It was some of the best acting I've ever seen. It's incredible. And I also have been watching Invincible. Also, I didn't mention that, but I've been catching up on Invincible.
Let's go.
You all caught up or no?
No, I'm like almost done with season 2 because I started season 2 like last year. I watched 2.5 episodes, so I just restarted it this week, and I'm like almost done with that.
So good.
It's
I
very
gotta.
good. Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna have to add that to my watch list.
Oh my god. Chase, you would watch the first episode of season 1 and then like if you didn't have anything going on, like probably finish the first season in one day.
It's that quick?
It is
I
that
mean, like,
good.
It's that good, I'll say.
Okay,
Like each episode's
fair.
45 minutes ish.
Yeah,
I
But it's so good.
I will say I saw someone point out that like during all the flying scenes or whatever, it's just like the characters are just PNG images and they just drag them across like the screen or whatever, like the background's moving. So every time I see that, it like kind of takes me out of it a bit. It looks kind of weird, but
yeah.
it's a good show.
It's incredible.
Well, I know Christian is watching Invincible a bit. Why don't we shoot it over to Christian, see what's been going on with him?
Yeah, totally agree with Jordan Chase. If you watch the first episode, you might just finish the first season. I just wrapped up the first season. Took me a couple days. That's it. The PNG picture thing, that's interesting. I don't love the animation style, but the plot is just phenomenal. Every single episode, it feels like they're just hitting you with something else. Kind of feels like Attack on Titan in that way. Um, but other than Invincible, I watched Poor Things this week. I really loved it. I thought Emma Stone was unreal. Mark Ruffalo too was very good. I think that's all I watched this week. Oh, I watched The White Lotus last night, the first episode. It was okay. It's fun. I think it's taking place in Thailand, this season. It
Yeah.
was okay. Other than that, didn't really do too much this week. Worked. I ran 7 miles this morning. That was good.
That's
Uh,
insane.
which is my longest run ever, and I did it at a 9 minute and 19 mile pace. So that was also
It's impressive.
good. I was booking it this week because I'm shooting for a 10 minute and 30 pace, but today I was just feeling good. Really nice day out. Yeah, that's all I got for you, Chase. How are you?
Good. My head is hurting a little bit thinking about running 7 miles in one
Yeah,
stretch.
no
I
thanks.
give you a lot of credit for that. It's for real. That's not easy.
That's tough.
Yeah. As for what I watched this week, I remember last week I mentioned to you guys that I was falling asleep watching Crazy Stupid Love. Finished that. Was awesome. Definitely skyrocketed up my rom-com ranks. It's considered a rom-com, right? Not just a regular comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely probably within my top 3. I would have to like organize a list to even see, but it was really good. Really enjoyed it. Then just watched immediately after Christian and I watched Close Encounters, which we both really liked. We'll get into that in a little bit. Um, and then just cruise through the week with our movies and Severance as usual. And the other night, as I was going to sleep, I turned on Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which is just an all-time classic for me. So
It's a
love
good
that
one.
movie.
What
Really,
what do you have that star rating?
I think I have it at a 4.5. I think.
I'm pretty sure you have it at a 5 because I was actually just looking at like your and like Jordan's five stars. So I was thinking about how you guys like don't really have a lot of 5 stars, and I was looking at what you do have, and I'm pretty sure you have Last Crusade on there.
Really?
I could be wrong,
Well,
but yeah.
Well, based on rewatching it, I'll have to lower it to a 4.5 because not because it's bad, but as you guys know, I'm very particular with
Stingy.
I'm very stingy with my 5 stars. So, I'll have to fix that up. But that's pretty much all I watched outside of those movies. But I think we got a good slate today, boys. I'm really excited to talk about the 3 that we picked.
Oh yeah.
But before we get into that, we will shoot it over to Jagger with some news with Jagger. What do you got for us?
News with Jagger.
Let's get into it. Got some interesting news this week. The first thing we got probably last Monday was Matt Damon, The Picture. We definitely had some talks about that. They think he has no aura. I think
He has
he's going to
aura.
play Odysseus like phenomenally. Um, we got this from an XQC live stream. Will Smith said
Oh,
that
yes.
I Am Legend 2 is moving forward with
Hell
him
yeah.
and Michael B. Jordan. I love I Am Legend, the first one. It's fire.
Great.
Agreed.
But
I know Jacob
just
doesn't.
so
Not a
weird. Really?
Bad
Yeah,
take.
Jacob's not a fan.
Yeah.
Did you read the
It's
book?
such a classic.
Yeah, but I heard the book is like not
Way
only
different.
better, but like very different as well.
I don't know why, but every week I try and like hide the news, or like I hope no one sees it until like I get here. So like, if Christian didn't see that Bong's next movie was a horror action set in the subway in Seoul, and it's been
Oh,
a
I
light
did.
project, it would like the reaction on here would have been insane. But I guess I just can't hold it away. We have probably the most interesting news of the week, which is Martin Scorsese is doing maybe a Netflix movie with The Rock.
Mm,
What are we doing?
interesting.
The last bit of movie news is Leonardo DiCaprio is probably starring in Eva Knievel biopic that Damien Chazelle is directing. So that sounds interesting. That's all I got for news this week.
I hope that I Am Legend is true.
I do
That'd be
too.
great.
Also,
Shout out XQC. Shout out Felix. If you guys know his real
Bong
name.
Bong was saying that he's been thinking about this movie since 2001.
What?
We weren't
So
even
here we
born
go.
This
yet.
is life project.
Here we go.
Wow.
Christian was
Wow.
born 10 years prior than that. What you talking about?
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to think because I watched the Best Picture nomination of the 1987 movie.
All right, Ong.
So
Shut up,
annoying.
Jacob, what is it again about I Am Legend that you don't like? It's just like the effects, right? They like doesn't
Well,
do it for you.
I think that yeah, like the zombies just look like so horrible to me and just look like so weird. I think the whole thing with like the mannequins is just so like odd.
I love it.
It's so funny.
It's like there's moments where it's supposed to be like emotional, and I just like don't feel the emotion because I'm like I don't know,
The
he's like
dog?
crying to a mannequin.
The
Oh,
dog?
it's sad.
Don't you
The dog,
think-
yeah, I'm saying like the mannequin stuff though. Like there's like a moment where
Every
he's like
little
speaking to a mannequin
thing
and like
is
crying or
gonna
something.
be
Yeah, but like,
alright.
don't you think that if you were in society and you had nobody else to talk to, and you're looking at these mannequins, like maybe it might drive you a little bit crazy to have this
Yeah.
kind of strange conversation with.
Yeah, but he doesn't like
person.
play it like I don't. I feel like he doesn't play it like he's like going crazy. He's just kind of like oh hey, what's up guys? It's like mannequins. Like I was like all right.
It's like his daily routine. Doesn't he always like hit up that store in the movie?
I haven't seen it
Yeah.
forever, but like
The
Yeah.
movie store.
I remember the beginning. Yeah, it's like
Do you
Maybe I'd
guys-
give it another shot. I'd give it another shot.
Do you guys
Especially
know
there's a
about
second one
the
coming out.
what's that?
I said especially if there's a second one coming out. Maybe I'd give it another shot before that.
Yeah, wait, is Michael B gonna play? Oh, I guess no.
So
'Cause- no, he won't.
It's an
'cause-
alternate ending. They are changing up the ending from the first one, and like I'm pretty sure Will Smith's gonna survive, and they're gonna move on with that. Like, as Michael be a different
Okay.
character.
Because I remember
Good.
there was an alternate ending like that they have, like you could see it on YouTube, like I've seen it on YouTube, where like they get to the camp and like Will Smith is there at the camp with them.
That's
So I
probably
guess
what they're
they're
taking.
just
Oh.
going with that then.
I think I'm out then because the ending, like the last scene, was the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm bought in.
I mean, like I want
I'm
it.
bought in.
Like I'd
Just
rather
like
them
that?
make it to see it.
You're cut off just like that.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
All right,
Also,
well we'll
in the
see.
beginning, they got the Batman versus Superman predicting it from like 15 years, like before they even released it, like announce it. I always love that about that.
Did you guys see? This is a little off topic. Did you guys see Kai Cenat's Batman
Unbelievable.
room?
Yeah, dude.
It's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Unbelievable.
I saw he did like a live mission the other day where he's like driving the Batmobile and like had to save someone from like a U-Haul that was like hostage. Oh my God.
I saw a
production
screenshot. I
design,
didn't see
nuts.
the clip. I gotta look at the clip.
It's crazy.
Well, he's been in two Bat caves now. I think he's got a third one today.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like the Dark Knight room. And then there's like an actual like Bat cave that he
Oh my
has like a
God.
set of.
It's insane.
So cool.
That is crazy. That is wild. And just to round out the news too, I have to say, like, I feel like we need to talk about Matt Damon in with the no aura. So like I know Jordan and Jagger, you guys are team aura, but I think the three of us are team no aura.
So bought in.
So it's
Matt
not
Damon
that.
is a great actor, and you guys put disrespect on his name.
Yeah, it's not that he maybe doesn't have aura because the photo he looks pretty sick in it. I just maybe haven't seen enough movies of his that I like. I don't know. Like The Martian, I don't really care for.
I don't love The Martian either, but I mean, he has
I
so
liked it a
many
lot.
other
I haven't
good.
seen
What
The
else is
Martian in a while.
Oppenheimer.
what else is he great in?
Oppenheimer,
Aura.
great.
Oppenheimer's
Rounders,
Good.
great.
Departed.
I don't
The
know.
Departed,
I wasn't
great.
too convinced by him in Oppenheimer.
Ford
he was
versus
good
Ferrari,
in
he was
Oppenheimer.
Are you
great.
kidding?
And you know
Are
we
what
kidding?
I didn't
you
see
know what
Ford v
scene
Ferrari.
stands out to me with him in Oppenheimer when he's like, "This is the greatest thing in the history of the world," like that.
Yep,
Like
I was
it,
literally just gonna say that.
yeah, like that's
I
I
think it
don't
was
know.
great. I think
He
he's
was
great
great
in
in
that.
Oppenheimer. And have you guys seen Ford versus Ferrari? I know Schnur just said he
Mhm.
hasn't.
I haven't seen it.
I
That
have. He's
movie's
great in
great.
that.
That movie's
I
really
haven't
good.
seen it.
He
but
doesn't miss.
He's very good.
Except that new Ben Affleck movie with him and those two, that'll probably miss. Have you guys seen pictures of it?
Not
I
With
don't
yet.
even know
Casey
what you're talking
Affleck when
about.
he's like,
No. It's like two like they look like bikers and like Matt Damon has this weird beard. And they're like sitting backwards in chairs. And I've seen this picture like 30 times come across my feed about how like they're boys and they're finally reuniting for another movie. I don't know.
Are you talking about the Dunkin' commercial?
No, there's another movie.
yeah,
coming
which
out.
one?
There's
Which
a
Dunkin'
couple.
commercial? Yeah.
Jeremy Strong one's phenomenal.
That one's funny. Jeremy Strong's hilarious.
Anywho, you guys have anything else you want to bring to the table before we get into our reviews from the week, or?
Let's get into these movies. 3 great ones.
good.
All right, so we're gonna start off with Tenet. This was Jacob's pick, so we are. I do want to mention that I wanted to start with Tenet because I figured that this would have been our best discussion. So I wanted to start off strong. So Jacob, take it away.
I'm a little worried because the thing with this movie is that no one knows what is going on. Like you can't. Jordan claims
Except
he
me.
does not know. Does not know what's going on. Yeah, I picked Tenet because again I watched the first time, was super confused, didn't really like it. But I wanted to give it another chance. I definitely enjoyed it more this time around. Um, I mean, let me give a synopsis. I don't like to read. I said before, I don't like to read the synopsis off of Letterboxd or anything. But with this movie, I feel like I kind of have to because
Yeah,
I have
I
really
don't
no
blame
idea.
you. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Even the synopsis, it says armed with only one word, Tenet. Like, what does that even mean? And, and fighting for the survival of the entire world, the protagonist journeys through a twilight world of international espionage on a mission that will unfold in something beyond real time. That still gives nothing. Basically, it's like this,
Gotta
I
watch
guess,
it.
yeah, espionage, like this, like military, like spy, like James Bond-esque type guy, and he has to travel like forwards and backwards in time to try to stop the end of the world, basically. Um, Again, like I said, I definitely enjoyed it more this time. There were points where I legitimately thought I was going to be giving this like a 4.5. There were certain sequences that were so incredible that I was just fully locked in. I was blown away. But there were some things like John David Washington, mainly not great, and they gave him a lot of. There were so many scenes where he's just like sitting across the table from someone, just saying the worst dialogue ever, which is also on Nolan because the dialogue isn't that
So
great.
agreeable. So
Um,
agreeable.
and that wasn't great. There were certain times where he had like a kind of like a one-liner that I thought was fun and it was kind of like campy, but in a good way because it kind of felt like an 80s action movie brought into the modern day with like modern day technology, which I thought was kind of fun at times, but also like he has these witty one-liners and it's like short dude who's not a very good actor and it was like he's not really giving off like main character of an action movie type of energy. Um, Pattinson's great, obviously. That guy's amazing and everything. He would have been probably better as the lead in this. I think he played that spy type of guy really well. Um, yeah, that was. And then I'll just say finally the opening sequence is incredible, which got me extremely excited for the Odyssey as well, which we were just talking about because we've seen the set photos of like that Trojan horse and all that, and if you don't know, the Trojan horse stuff is in the Iliad. That's before the Odyssey. So I feel like the movie probably is going to open up with that kind of stuff. So that got me really excited. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. And Ludwig's score is great. I'll finish on
Maybe
that.
they go back in time in the Odyssey, you know? He just makes it a time travel film.
Yeah, they bring Tenet into the Odyssey.
It's not time
Cross
travel.
over.
John David Washington comes out of the Trojan horse.
Yeah. Start running backwards in the water. They're rowing the boat backwards.
What these smooth brains don't understand is that it's not back in time; it's reverse.
Yeah,
Two different
Jordan, take us
things.
to school. Take us to school.
Two very, very different things. I mean, I didn't get to watch it this week, but I mean, I've probably seen it 6, 7 times already. I love this movie. I think it's great, and it's so funny that Schnur said that opening scene because me and my friend Ryan, or our friend Ryan, went to go see it like opening day, back from COVID. So it was like the first day that the theaters opened. Tenet came out. We go see it. There's a couple of like technical difficulties, I guess, and it like starts, but there's no sound. And we're seeing like that first scene, and we thought they started it in like the middle of the movie. We're like, what the fuck? Like, why is it in the middle of the movie? But yeah, then they restarted it, and it turns out that was the beginning, which is an incredible sequence, much like the rest of the movie. I think John David Washington is actually good in this because, like, he's the main character, but he doesn't know. This is spoilers now. Like, he doesn't know he's the main guy. Like, he didn't know that, he like planned all this until the end of the movie. So like he didn't, I don't know really like how to explain that besides like
I'm
how
the
I just said
protagonist.
it. Yeah.
I'm the protagonist.
When I first watched the movie, I was like, me and our friend were like talking about it after, and we're like, wait, what's this guy's name? We're like, I don't think they said his name. We looked it up, and it's like his name is like the protagonist, which was like, we just started crying laughing.
Yeah.
Badass.
I'm the
So
protagonist.
it's great. It's
It's
great.
kind of aura. I'm not gonna lie.
Except
But
it's
yeah,
John
I
David
mean, you
Washington.
guys all know my thoughts on the movie. I loved it. I thought all the action scenes are great. I love when it's like confusing and I have to watch it like 5 times to an extent. I know like a lot of people say this like makes no sense. Like, yeah, it's a fair argument. It's a little confusing. But maybe just like get a brain and like figure it out. I don't know.
Right.
So I'll start with the good. So the premise of the movie, I really enjoyed how like objects can move backwards in time while people are moving forward and backwards, I believe. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong there because it's so confusing. What else? The action scenes, especially the highway scene when the car is moving backwards, and then
Yeah.
also the other car that is used to move the cargo into the other car, and you find out that the protagonist is the guy driving the car. That was really sick. And then there was another scene where they're going backwards in time, and you see the protagonist is actually fighting himself. That was probably my favorite scene in the movie. And then you find out that Neil the entire time knows that he's fighting himself, but he doesn't say anything because if he says something, I think if you come in contact with your own self, like there's just annihilation, I think they describe it as. So that I thought was like the good with the movie, but like Schnur was saying, John Davis Washington was just not it for me. John David Washington was just not it for me. I thought his dialogue was pretty poor, as Schnur was saying. I thought he just didn't really show too much emotion, and there wasn't really a character development for him. I wasn't really emotionally attached to him. I was more attached to Neil, and maybe like Schnur said, maybe Neil should have been the main character. Pattinson was very good. I will say that Christopher Nolan must have like a 200 IQ because I don't know how he keeps coming up with these movies. I don't know if he's writing all these movies, but everything that has to deal with time, like Oppenheimer, you have Memento, you have this, you have Interstellar,
Inception.
Prestige.
Inception, Prestige. This guy's an absolute genius. Like you can knock him for some of his movies if you want, but he's a genius. So um, it wasn't my favorite movie. I gave it a 3 out of 5. Definitely lower on my Nolan rankings, but I think this is a movie that could rise if I were to watch it more, especially because I like the second half a lot more than the first half.
Right. I'm going to continue on the John David Washington hate just because for the longest time, I have not thought he was a good actor. If you ever watched the movie Amsterdam, horrific. I just think he's a Nepo baby. Like, it's just, it doesn't work for me. He has lines like we talked about. I specifically, and I got it on my TikTok. So, the sign, like the line where he's like, where's my hot sauce? I ordered it an hour ago. Whenever he like walks into the back room, he improvised that, and I'm like, yeah, I could tell because that shit sucks. That is a dumb line. I was like, what are the odds it pops up on my For You page as I see this? And also like the punching, like after that, like he's like punching a guy so fast in the stomach, he's backing up. Terribly done, looks like it's me. Another line, he says there's like a bodyguard frisking him, and he's like, "You got to take me out to dinner first, where I'm from." Terrible.
Those are the lines that I kind of thought were like fun. I'm sorry to interrupt.
I did
That's not
not
like
think they were fun to me,
like
but
they
I
weren't
understand.
they weren't good, but it was like I said, kind of like the '80s like cheesy action stuff. Like I thought that was kind of like a fun way to look at it, at least.
It kind of just takes me out of the story. Like this guy's about to go like 3-on-1. We're about to see like how sick he is, and he just says, "I ordered my hot sauce an hour ago." Um, what else? This is my third time seeing this. I
Oh wow.
think it is just too confusing. I understand what's going on. Like I know like they're going in inverse and they're going back and forth. Like I understand that. But I think it's just even for Nolan standards, it is just too much. I think he tried to do too much here, and that's why a lot of people don't like it, and that's why I don't absolutely love it. I do still really like it. I think Pattinson is phenomenal. I think the supporting cast is phenomenal. I think the story is also phenomenal. The way they're trying to like protect this world, but like he doesn't even know what he set up is what he's doing right now, like in the past, and he's got to go back and forth. I think that's great. Um, I love the action sequences, like we mentioned. The last 10 minutes of the movie where they're counting like there are two teams going back and forth. And you could see literally in the background how some people are going backwards, some people are going forwards. I don't know how you can do that on screen. I think that is masterfully done. I love the mention of Oppenheimer when he's talking to Priya, as
Yeah.
that's literally his next film is like all about that. And that's like the climax of it. Thought that was phenomenal. Um, I think that's all I have to say. I just think it's just a little bit too confusing for me, but I think it is still really good.
So I'll round out the John David Washington hate. Um, look, I like I agree with Schnur. Like had some cool one-liners. But I think that for the most part, like I feel like some of his scenes and dialogue were like so bad that it kind of took me out of some of the scenes, and like it prevented me from getting more engaged into the movie. Um, I don't know anything about him outside of this movie. I don't think I've seen anything else with him, so I can't really speak on him outside of this movie. But just this movie as a whole, like I did not really love him in. Especially like given the fact that like every Nolan movie that I've ever seen, like the protagonist, like no pun intended, like the protagonist has always been like phenomenal in my eyes. So I was kind of shocked to see how I don't know if I want to say how poor of a performance it was, but just like how disengaging it was for me. And I totally agree. Like maybe Neil should have been the main character. Like I almost felt like I was waiting for him and like Bobby Pat to pop up on screen like the whole movie. It was just like waiting for him to just like come back into frame each scene. But I do have a couple of notes on this movie that I wanted to like I watched it last night. Like I wanted to make sure I didn't forget anything. I think that this movie more than anything kind of just proved to me like how much that I personally love Christopher Nolan. I'm like more new to Christopher Nolan as a director, but I think I've seen like a fair share of his movies now to kind of like associate myself with his movies. And I think like I said, like I think his movies are like so great, and I think like the fact that this movie was like so confusing in a way and like not like what I particularly loved, like I still found something in it for me. And I think like Nolan is very good at least like if you don't like the movie, like he finds a way to get something out of it for you, I feel like. Um and the first half of the movie, same with Christian, like just wasn't into it. Like we watched the first half together and we were like, all right, like what's going on? Like when is like what's gonna happen? Like when is this gonna change? Blah blah blah. The turning point for me was the highway scene. I thought the highway scene. I won't go into that too much, but whoever mentioned the car flipping in reverse, is that the right term, Jordan? Reverse? I know you said
Reverse.
yeah,
Inverse.
reverse.
Inverse.
The car
Correct.
flipping in reverse, I thought
That's
was
correct.
nuts. I thought that was insane. And to obviously know, like, find out that he was fighting himself the whole time was really cool. And I'm not gonna like sit here and act like I know what the movie was about because I did struggle with it. So I won't go too in depth into the plot. But um, I mean, some of the editing too in this movie like was a little wonky. Like if you guys go back and you watch some of the scenes with Priya specifically, like Priya's scenes, you'll notice like the editing is all over the place. Like you'll see like you'll see like the protagonist, like he'll have his head in frame, like he's looking at her, and then like it'll cut to her and his head is down, and then like it'll cut back and his head is still down, then it cuts back and then his head is to her, and there's just like things in frame that don't belong there, which was like very disengaging for me, which I didn't love. And the quick cuts too, like specifically there was that one scene where they're at the table, um, him and what was the blonde girl's name again?
Cat.
Cat, yeah.
Sure.
Carl Anthony Towns. When they're at the table, when he's at the table with Carl Anthony Towns in the beginning in the restaurant, and like it's just quick cutting back and forth to him and her, like everything that they say, every sentence, every word they say, it's just back and forth, back and forth. I thought it was too much for me. Again, like took me out of it, but I mean overall, like I did find enjoyment in it, and I think Jacob, we were talking about it earlier. I think I'm gonna settle on a 3.5 for it, and I agree with Christian. Like might upgrade it to a 4 upon rewatch, assuming that I get something else out of it. So, um, yeah, I thought it was solid.
You know, it's
Uh,
interesting because, sorry, Jacob. I was gonna say it's interesting because we're kind of saying all the negatives about the movies, so I'm kind of curious as to why some of your ratings are as high as they are. But going back to the scene with Kat and the protagonist, they mentioned something about what was the other guy's name? The guy who was trying to end the world, Cater, something like that.
Seder.
Seder.
Sater.
Yeah.
They mentioned that he was threatening Kat with these pictures. I just didn't understand that at all. Can anybody fill me in there?
No
Yeah.
idea.
The drawings
So
or the drawings?
so she sold him knowingly fabricated paintings. It's like she sold him like fake fake Picassos, knowing that. And he could have turned her in at any time and been like, she knew that I did this.
Okay,
And that could make her go to jail, make her lose a kid and everything. So he had that over her.
gotcha. All right, yeah. Jacob, what did you want to say?
I was just gonna say how it was funny because I mean we'll get into positives in a sec, I promise. But we were talking about like the dialogue and stuff, and there would just be random scenes where, like I mentioned, they'd be sitting across the table or they're walking and they're just talking, and they'll say something like the character just knew everything already. It seemed like she would just bring something up and be like, oh, like well, because he's doing this, like he's doing this and this, and then the protagonist would be like, oh, because of this, and she goes precisely. They just know everything.
I
They just
agree.
know everything. It's like
Yeah, that
They
scene was
all
crazy.
they all go like, oh, you played exactly how I wanted you to do. Like this happened multiple times. Like so many people are playing each other. Like Priya's playing John David Washington. Robert Pattinson's playing John David Washington. John David Washington's playing all of them. Everyone did exactly what they had to do to get like exactly what they wanted to. They're like, oh, you fell right into my trap.
Or to your point, that scene, it felt like Priya was playing Jeopardy with with the protagonist, and he was answering everything right. It was insane.
See that's crazy because I was thinking about a scene with him and Kat, and like you're bringing up with him and Priya, like it's like, every scene. It was that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll get into the good, I guess, things that I liked because I did give it 3.5. Like that's a positive rating for me, and I definitely bumped it up because I had a 2.5 originally. Like you mentioned, the action sequences are phenomenal. Like I was just locked in, especially when they go back in reverse, like you said, they're on the highway. All that was just so well done. The plane crashing, completely practical. I was thinking about how like Mission Impossible is coming out soon. I'm not really into that franchise. I haven't really seen them, but it's one of those things where like you go to see because you want to see what new stunt Tom Cruise did. You know, because he does these practical stunts and all of them. I feel like the Nolan with those kind of like what kind of practical thing is he going to do now? It was, the bomb in Oppenheimer. It's the plane in this. It's going to be the Cyclops or whatever in the Odyssey. I think it's just like an event that you go to see, and it was absolutely beautiful. There were certain times where I thought like it was kind of like Mad Max Fury Road level for me, which it's not up there eventually, obviously. That's like my favorite action movie, and I'm like, you know what? Like they're not really talking that much. It's not like the most engaging story necessarily, but like these sequences are incredible, and I'm locked in, and like they're just so well crafted. Another thing I thought was interesting was how Ludwig apparently, so he made the score during COVID, so he couldn't have everyone in one room, so he had to like get bits and pieces of each instrument and like construct this score, and he made it so that it sounds the same played backwards as it does forwards to go along
He's
with the movie, which
incredible.
is
Yeah,
sick.
that was
Yeah.
the score was insane.
So yeah, I like, was very much into everything that was going on the screen. Again, like didn't really understand it, didn't really care too much about the characters, which tends to be a thing for me with Nolan movies. Um, but it's just like an absolute event, and I feel like I couldn't not enjoy that visual aspect of it.
Yeah, I
Totally agree.
go ahead, Christian.
No, I was just gonna say
Oh,
totally agree.
I do want to mention a couple more things too. Jordan, I actually like bursted out laughing when I saw the guy from yesterday come up on the screen.
Himesh
Oh,
Patel. Himesh
yeah,
Patel.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
gonna be in the Odyssey too.
Oh,
Yeah.
for real? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay,
He
yeah.
was in it for like
I thought of you
15
immediately. I
minutes.
was like, of course, Jordan. You know, we mentioned Jordan movies last week. Like Tenet's a Jordan movie, and I was like, of course, like yesterday's a Jordan movie, and of course he's in the movie. Of course.
So I don't even love the movie Yesterday, but like when it was coming out, I used to get the Instagram ads all the time of the guys singing. And so I would always like just get it stuck in my head and I'd be like, yesterday, and like start singing it like when we're playing video games or whatever. And they're like, "Oh, you like love this movie, you love this movie." And it's like I've seen it once and it was like fine. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
a good movie, which is funny. Um, but yeah, should we recap scores all the way around?
Yeah. I went 3.5 for this one.
And a half. Christian,
I had a 3.
okay. Shania,
Yeah, I went 3.5 as well.
and then Jagger, you went 3.5.
No. On any day, this can be a 2.5 or it could be a 5. But that day I landed on 4. So
Okay. I have it at a 4.5. Like, yeah, like I love this movie and I always tell them how much I love it. But like I do agree with like some of the dialogue stuff. It's not the most like engaging. And the dialogue does get like a little bit confusing. But just like the story and the whole like confusing like sci-fi like just genre I love and I thought it was great. So, but that's why it's not a 5.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll jump in again, but like the thing that annoys me is again, I said with Nolan, like I love a lot of his movies, but and they say it in this how it's like, don't try to understand it, feel it. And everyone says like, oh, like don't try to understand it, just feel it. And I'm like, okay, but like I don't understand it, so like how am I supposed to
What does
care
that even
about what's
mean?
going on if I have no idea what's going on?
Have
And
you
also
seen?
like, oh sorry.
No. I'm sorry. I'm the one who interrupted you. Really quick, have you seen the interview where Nolan was like, "Oh, it's hard to talk about it, so you just gotta watch it."
No, I
Yeah.
haven't seen it, but it's like he says that, like people say it, like Christian was saying how he's like this genius, and it's like these high concept ideas that are like, don't try to understand it. It's like, well, he's giving you all the information, it just makes no sense, and I don't think he understands it, so it just results in like a convoluted mess to me. I feel like most of the time, and that bothers me.
Oh, he
But-
understands it.
For me, this was the one convoluted mess of a movie that he's put out. I think everything else, I disagree a little bit with you said you don't really get emotionally attached to some of his characters. I typically do, but this one, the protagonist, like there's just no background on him.
But I think it's supposed
Side
to be
characters,
like
you
that.
mean.
Like I don't think you're supposed to have
Side
an
characters.
emotional connection with him.
Yeah, it is supposed to be like that, but it's also like, okay, that's why I guess I'll give it positive. I'm like, it's not, it doesn't destroy the movie, but it's like, all right, like it's fun. I don't really care about these
Yeah.
characters, so it's like,
Yeah.
like that makes sense, but it also doesn't mean that like just because it's like intentional doesn't mean that I'm gonna like be engaged with it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
And I guess the one thing you can say is the protagonist is a CIA agent, so he's just trying to complete his mission. You're not really supposed to get into his backstory anyway.
That was
It's
I
really
also
like-
thought it was so funny. Sorry to interrupt you, but how he sacrifices his life in the beginning, and they're like, all right, like you proved yourself, you have to go save the world now. Like it's like okay, like have fun.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I was grasping everything pretty well. Then once we got to the desert scene, everything just fell apart. Like in the end, I was just like, all
Yeah.
right. Like my Jenga tower fell apart.
Yeah.
That was
Desert
messy.
scene was incredible.
It was
That's
messy,
my
though.
favorite- That's
Great.
probably my favorite part about the movie.
It was fun. It was good.
It gets
but I just
confusing at that part.
couldn't understand it. Couldn't tell you what happened.
I will
I think
say
if you
though,
watched it again, you'd enjoy it more.
Probably, yeah.
guy who saved them in like the elevator looking thing, the guy that was laying on the ground, that was Neil, right? Like
That's
he planted
Neil.
himself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you
Neil
could see his
died there.
backpack
That was very cool.
with the little
Yeah,
like
right,
chain
right,
on his
right.
backpack.
Neil's also the one
That
who
was pretty
saves
sick.
him in the opera scene in the beginning as well.
I
Yeah.
didn't catch that.
Yeah,
I'm starting to become a big Bobby Pat guy. I'm not gonna
He's
lie.
great.
Matt, he's the best.
incredible.
He's
He's
the
great.
best.
I don't know. Like I need to watch more. I think I said it last episode, but like his acting performance in this like didn't necessarily wow me. Just
He's
because
just,
like
fun,
the
though.
dialogue's just like not there. But he is
Go
fun.
ahead and
He's
give the
fun.
Like
Batman
he's
a
he's
watch.
so
Go
he's
ahead
so
and
Yeah.
give
easy
the
to root
Batman a
for.
watch.
Yeah, go watch the Batman. Like what?
Anywho,
I watch The Lighthouse. Even if you don't like The Lighthouse, I don't think you would like The Lighthouse, Chase, but like, or at least not yet. Maybe you like would watch it once, not like it, or rewatch it. But like, his performance is undeniably, I think, incredible in that.
Yeah.
Even if you're not the biggest fan, he is fantastic in that movie, and Good Time
He
as well.
also
Yeah, Good
might
Times
be
is great.
he might be Poseidon in the Odyssey.
God, I hope.
Oh,
Please,
wow.
That would be sick.
please.
That's another thing I like about Nolan is um how like he has similar casts that come back from most movies. You see the people that he likes to work with, and he's like constantly adding new people into that roster. And you see like this was Pattinson's first movie, and now it's like, oh, like this new addition, and then he brings him right back in the Odyssey. How like Matt Damon has been like his first edition was I think Interstellar, and now he's gonna like lead his movie, and like obviously Cillian Murphy for all those years. Like I like seeing those new people that are on Nolan's lineup of actors he likes to use.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make the jump from supporting to main actor. He
Mhm.
seems like he does. I can't wait to see who's next.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to lead off the discussion with Tenet because I figured it was gonna be a good one, and I think it was. But I think if we're all good, we can shift gears to Close Encounters, unless anyone else has anything else, any final points.
Do it.
I think I'm
All
all
good?
good.
All right. So Close Encounters was my pick. Steven Spielberg directed. Was super excited for this movie. It did not disappoint me. I'll give a little synopsis again from off of Letterboxd because I don't want to botch it like I've done in the past. So it says after an encounter with UFOs, an electricity linesman feels undeniably drawn to an isolated area in the wilderness where something spectacular is about to happen. So listen, first and foremost, non-spoiler. This movie for me was incredibly enjoyable. I think it like I know Christian's gonna touch on this because I know he mentioned it and like I totally agree. So sorry if I'm stealing your point, Christian, but I feel like this movie was just way ahead of its time. And I just like another fun, like amazing Spielberg blockbuster. And I was shocked. Like I'm shocked that I don't hear that this movie more often mentioned in like Spielberg's top films. Like I feel like you always hear like Schindler's List, Jaws, Indiana Jones, like the basic five, but you never hear. I personally never hear of this movie anywhere close to the top five. I mean, yes, he has so many great movies, but I feel like this movie can't be slept on, and I think that I would like 100% recommend it to anybody. Really enjoyed it, and I know Jordan. Jordan gave it a 5.
It was
Sorry to
great.
spoil that. I
It's all right.
apologize for spoiling that,
No
but I want you
worries.
to.
I was gonna
I
say
want you
before
to
you
go.
go,
I
Jordan, this
want
was
you
the
to go to
reason.
town.
Sorry
Yeah,
to
Schnur,
interrupt
you
you,
go.
Chase. I was to say this was the reason that I was looking at like you and Chase's 5 stars because I saw you give it a 5 star and I was like I never see Jordan give 5 stars, so that was
I
very
loved
exciting.
it. I loved it.
Go ahead.
I'll go. I'll give my pitch. If you like sci-fi movies and you're like, it's like a 70s movie, I've never really heard of it, watch it. I don't care if you have to rent it, watch it on whatever, watch the movie. It is absolutely incredible. I loved it. Like just the way that it unfolds, like I didn't know what to expect. I was like, it's Spielberg, but it's like a 70s movie. I usually don't love like older movies just because like you know, uh, what's it called? Not the animation, but like
VFX.
the effects. Yeah, it's just like kind of older, and you're like, eh. It was great. Like I don't even know like how to explain it, but like even my girlfriend, where I thought she was going to absolutely hate it, the movie ended, and she's like, that was really good. Like it was just such like a different take, I feel like, on like alien things in movies. Um, where like I was like, okay, like it's like UFOs, whatever. But it was like just like such like a refreshing like take on it. And it wasn't, whatever. I can't do this without saying spoilers, but like the
No, you're
people
good. We're
were
spoilers
You
now.
can say
okay,
spoilers.
Yeah.
okay. Just like I feel like in every movie, like humankind is always like, oh, we have to like fight them and like destroy them because they're gonna take over. And it was just so refreshing to be like they were like becoming friends with them and like communicating with them, and there was no like back and forth like battling like aliens versus like humanity. And it was just so nice to watch a movie where it was like, yeah, like we're not the bad guy. Like it was actually, we were good to them, we were nice to them, and they weren't the bad guy either. Like no one was like the villain, I guess, in this movie, which is kind of what I enjoyed. And it was just crazy. Like they kept saying like all the people that like saw it or close encountered with them were like, oh, this is important, like this is important. and then they like get there, and that last like 30-minute scene was just great.
Dude, you're firing me up right now.
It was so good. It was so good.
Jordan, how great was the do
Yeah, when they kept going back with like the noises and stuff, it
So
was
good.
really good. And the
So
beginning of the
good.
movie, I was like, oh, what am I watching? Like, what's going on? And then once you got to the people, and I think it was Indiana, it was actually where Ball State is, I believe. I forget what the town is, but yeah, it like you kind of like got a connection. You know, like the kid got taken. Um, this guy who's just like a family guy in the beginning of the movie is like going crazy. His family's like, what is going on? Pretty much like loses his whole family because he's like making like the mountain with mashed potatoes because he's going absolutely crazy. He's like throwing dirt into the house, and that scene where he like built pretty much like the mountain and then like sees it on the TV, and the shot where like that's in the background and it looks just like the mountain on the TV. Incredible. It was so good.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Loved
fire.
it.
I think this movie is extremely impressive for 1977, but Spielberg at the start was probably furious whenever he saw Star Wars release because it got released in May of 77, and then this didn't release until December. So I was like, he probably got pissed, but it probably did really well because everyone was like, we got to do as much sci-fi fit, like we got to watch as many as we can. So I'm sure it did well at the box office. I didn't look it up, but I haven't really heard about it since, like Chase mentions.
Curious.
But this movie was just not what I was expecting. I thought it was gonna be like a nice little fantasy, like sci-fi, like happy family movie. No, the main character goes through like absolute heartbreak, loses his entire family, and is just an agony about this one thing that like he saw and he cannot get it out of his head. He's dumping the mashed potatoes, he's dumping the dirt, and his wife is like, "We're going, like I'm leaving you," which she had the right to. He's literally throwing dirt in the house, throwing bricks in the house.
I mean, Jagger, talk about descending into madness. This was like perfect for you.
He literally did. I had no clue what I was hopping into. Like
Yeah.
Spielberg, you picture like E.T., like family, like nice friendship movie. Like this was not it. But I thought it was cool. I thought there's some things I didn't like about it. The kiss at the end with the mother. I don't know why they needed to put that in there. Like I'm sure he still loves his wife. Like he's just like,
Yeah,
why are you kissing this random woman?
me and Christian hated that. We were like, oh,
Yeah.
That was
I
like
was
that
like,
was the
why are
one
you
flaw of the
doing that?
movie.
And
And
then
you're
yeah,
like, this
Oh.
woman is like just lost her kid by aliens, and you guys are just kissing now.
It felt like
Um,
Kylo and Rey kissing each other at the end of like Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. I think it was
Very
also like
unnecessary.
they were both going through the same thing though, and then like they realized like, you know, like we're not actually going crazy, like this is real.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
just kind of
Something
like,
like
pretty
kiss.
insane.
I agree though. I agree. I didn't love the kiss, but like, I don't know, it's a little part.
But I did like a lot of the other stuff. Like I think the UFOs even look good, even
Yeah.
for 77, not today's standards, but yes, they look good. And then in the end, I was just hoping that the little alien fuckers would just start like fucking everyone up, just like going crazy. I don't know why, but like they like grab his hand and like usher him there. I'm a little bit confused. Why were they taking people for that many years though? Like they took a lot of people. I don't understand if were they trying to learn from them, like I don't really understand what it was from.
Yeah. That's what I took it as. But I think
I
it's
think-
like
yeah.
also one of the big question marks in the movie.
Okay.
I think they were
Yeah,
just saving
that's all I have.
people. I think they were just saving people from imminent death.
Well, they're not saving the little kid. Took him
And-
straight for his mother's grips.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair. Maybe they were teaching them something because they were so friendly. They weren't like your typical kill human type aliens.
We got to watch
Yeah.
just regular Alien after that one. Now watch Aliens fucking kill people.
Jagger, also the box office question. It said it grossed over 300 million worldwide, and at the time it was the most successful Columbia Pictures film.
Yeah, because
Wow.
everyone was riding that Star Wars high of sci-fi. But
Yeah.
Spielberg probably saw he's like, Star Wars did it better.
And I
That's
didn't
why
know
it kept
this, but the score was composed and conducted by John Williams,
Hell yeah.
Wow.
the GOAT.
Beep boop,
goat.
bop, boop, beep.
Did anybody else before someone else goes? Did anybody else get the vibe from this movie that it just felt like a Universal ride? Did anybody get that
I
feeling
really
at all?
did. I feel like you're strong to like correlate this to ET, which makes complete sense.
It's just like I don't know, like the scene when his car when he's in the truck in the beginning of the movie and like the UFO is like hovering over his car and like his car turns off and it's shaking, like
Yeah.
that was sick. Like I thought when Barry's abduction scene, I thought was like one of the coolest alien abduction scenes I've seen in any type of alien, you know, this genre of sci-fi alien movies. I thought it was fantastic. Thought it was great.
Yeah, so when Chase initially suggested us to watch this movie, I was a little bit upset, thinking like, "Oh, come on! Like, we're doing a sci-fi genre. Why are we watching this?" This movie blew me away. I absolutely loved it, and I think the main reason is sort of what Jordan touched on. Every alien movie is about like violence and fighting each other, but this shows a completely different side of what or how society might react if we came in close encounters with an alien civilization. I think there would be people that become obsessed and become curious about who they are, what they want, what they're doing, and I think that's just how humans are. And that's like you could also see like the paranoia in the community, everybody getting together to see like the next close encounter with the aliens. I think a lot of that has some similarities with the movie Nope. I don't know if you've guys seen that.
Yeah.
So like Chase was saying, I thought this movie was way ahead of its time. It's drawing similarities to Nope and also the movie Arrival. The reason being is a big part of this movie is about how communication can be universal through sounds and hand gestures. And if you're thinking about Arrival, all of that is about communicating with these big alien species in a different way than like a verbal communication because they don't speak the same language. So there's so many parallels that you can draw from like newer alien sci-fi movies. I absolutely loved it. The last 20 minutes was honestly special. I thought it was phenomenal. That lanky alien dude was creepy, but also like then the little aliens walked out and you kind of get this sense of like comfortability with them, knowing that they're not going to hurt these people. They're actually releasing them and saving these people. And all these people were, when they were taken, they were saying some people were taken like decades prior and they came out the same age. Like that was so interesting. I absolutely love the movie. I honestly, after Jordan was hyping me up, I actually raised my rating on Letterboxd from a 4 to a 4.5. So shout out Jordan for maybe being the first person to persuade one of us to raise the
Oh yeah.
rating.
I think I might raise it as well. So I think you have two people on
Let's
that.
go.
It's
I think
funny
you
you guys
got.
are saying that because, sorry, Jordan.
I was gonna tell Christian that I think he needs to raise that one more half star.
Yeah, I might honestly on a rewatch. And maybe this is Spielberg's best alien movie too. Like this, I don't know. This is great.
Gotta
I
watch
was just gonna say,
ET.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's funny you guys say that because coming into this, I had a very tough time rating all three of these movies, so I was excited to talk about it because I honestly think, or I could have seen all of my ratings changing for literally every movie after like having a conversation. My Tenet one didn't, but this honestly might as well. um, yeah, I absolutely loved it as well. I watched it last year and I really liked it. I gave it like a 3.5, thought it was solid. And I honestly as well, Christian, like when Chase picked it, I was like, like I just saw like it's like fine. But I don't know, I just got like a ton more appreciation out of it on this watch for whatever reason. I thought it was incredible how they would show the town and just all the landscapes. And they had space kind of overlooking it, and it was like very ominous and it looked incredible. And it was the first time I really feel like I've seen a movie where space felt like a character without the movie actually taking place in space. Like it felt like it was this ominous being looking over the
I like
town.
that.
Um, there was also I also love like if I'm gonna love a movie, there has to be moments in the movie that really stick out to me that stay in my mind for a while. Chase mentioned one of them with that abduction scene was unbelievable. Like when Barry opens the door and it's that bright orange and yellow light. That was just an unbelievable shot. Jordan mentioned the other one with the TV and all that was incredible. But then there was like a split diopter shot at the dinner when he's stacking the mashed potatoes and it shows him like kind of smiling, like freaking out while he's stacking these mashed potatoes, and his son is just crying, and that was just like just an incredible shot.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
nuts.
that's in my mind like literally every single day since I've watched that. Just thought that was really incredible, and I really appreciated Spielberg as like a filmmaker and like his craft more than I think I really ever have besides maybe Schindler's List. Um, and yeah, I thought it was really excellent. I did think that the lead up to the end was more interesting to me than the actual end itself because I liked that whole family dynamic. And like watching him just kind of go crazy and lose his sense of self and sense of reality. I thought that was really, really interesting. And you mentioned the kiss. I also thought like he also just hops on that UFO and like dips on his wife and kids. like like he's just out. I
Talk
was
about a
like
deadbeat.
Yeah, I was like,
The aliens are your family now.
I honestly don't think that's too unrealistic, though. If something like this were to happen, I think there would be a group of people who just become absolutely obsessed with what's going on, and I think they would react the same way.
I
And that's why I
agree.
love it.
And I
good
think
point, yeah.
they like alluded to it a little bit in like I don't know if it was like that like town hall type meeting where the guy stood up and he's like, I saw Bigfoot one time. And it
Yeah.
was like that same type of like group of people who get so obsessed by like this strange, like unknown thing that it like
Yeah.
makes them go nuts.
I also wanted to shout out Terry Garr, who played his wife, because she was in After Hours also. She was that
Yes.
waitress. And she was
Oh,
like,
was that the girl?
Yes.
Because
And I
Katie
believe-
said that, and I was like, no, I don't think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
no
Dude,
way.
I recognized her and I was
Yeah.
like, Christian, is that the woman from After Hours? And he was like, which one? And
I was like, no
"Her."
way.
yeah.
There's also like 8 women he bumps into that night in After Hours. So I'm like, which one is he talking about?
Yeah, she was great in this. I talked about how great she was in After Hours, and she was phenomenal in this as well. So great actress. Also, funny note, I was talking to Jagger about how Bob Balaban is in this. He was the translator. He's in a bunch of movies. He plays Phoebe's dad in Friends, and Terry Garr plays Phoebe's mom in Friends. So that's just a funny note.
No way.
And then
Wow.
yeah, and Francois Truffaut. If you haven't seen the 400 Blows, great classic coming of age movie. He directed that. It's like a classic, and he was the French guy who was also great.
I don't know if we mentioned this on, I think it was like our first episode, but in After Hours when I was watching it and I saw her, I was like, is that Phoebe? So I didn't,
Yeah, you did. I remember
I
that.
did
You-
mention it? Okay,
yeah. That's awesome.
Keep
I'm
you
glad you guys
moving.
enjoyed it. I was a little worried about the pick because sci-fi movie from the 70s can, you know,
Go
can obviously
either way.
bomb. Who knows? But I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, Spielberg's one of the best.
Do I read
Excited to
this?
see
The Dish
Under the
next
Radar
year.
movie.
The Dish
What,
next year is making with Josh O'Connor, I think, and Emily Blunt.
What was everybody's ratings again? I just upped it to a 4.5, by the way. So thank you, Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, I'm literally looking at it right now. I gave it a 4 originally, but I might up it right now.
I
5
have
for me.
I have 4.5 after Jordan's
Pump
freaking
up,
pump up. Oh my
run
god.
through a brick wall.
Jagger, where'd you have it again?
I got a 3.5. It's staying
That's
confirmed.
gross.
We didn't sway you at all to get it to a 4.
No, I think it was good, but I just felt a little bit bored at times.
Didn't
Okay, that's
tickle
fair.
your fancy enough.
It didn't tickle my fancy. This next movie does though.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
won't get into it, but Christian did send us a TikTok about how apparently this movie did have some like real life inspiration behind it too. I don't know if you guys looked into that at all, but Jordan, I'll send you the TikTok after.
Yeah,
this
you
is
gotta
over,
send me
but
that.
yeah, yeah.
I like figured, I mean, you know, it's all like real stuff, especially like, you know what I
Like,
mean?
yeah, like I'm pretty sure Christian, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like this ship, right in the end, was based off of like a case file from the CIA or something that got released.
There was a case file that had some similarities throughout the movie, but I also did find out, I believe there's another movie or documentary called Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind,
Yeah,
and I think it goes more in depth with the actual case and the reality of what is said in the case, so that could be an interesting watch.
So why are they the third kinds? Sorry, Schnur's showing his review.
yeah. Thank God.
I wrote that to a 4.
Just upped it.
Why is it Close Encounters of the Third Kind? I don't understand. Is it just like what we call aliens, like the third
I,
kind?
that's what
Maybe.
I
I
thought.
would have imagined. I think.
I think
I
that's
couldn't
like
tell
just like
you,
a
but-
term for aliens. But I
Man,
might be
women,
Close
wrong.
yeah.
Encounters with Sound Design. That's what it should have been called.
Boom, 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 boom.
Let me look that up. Actually, I'm curious.
The
It's like
score was
boy.
amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was.
I
The
can't
Jordan
believe we
added
don't-
it to his
Great.
workout
The,
playlist.
the end credits, the end credit theme song was phenomenal too.
Yeah, I
They're
listened to
really,
the whole thing.
yeah, yeah,
Sat there and
Also,
listened
I
to it.
want
Jacob,
to
we
know
might have to add that to our
how-
playlist.
I want to know how big that spaceship is.
massive.
Like
Yeah,
what?
sick.
Like is that like their city? Is like that like kind of where they just like live now? Like going? Is that like their arc? Or you think like there is so many unanswered questions about this movie. You could make a complete another thing just about the aliens with. And I think that's really cool.
Totally.
I just looked up. We call aliens the third kind because of the UFO encounter classification system developed by blah 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 astronomer, where third kind specifically refers to a close encounter where an observer sees the occupants or animate objects inside a UFO. So a first kind is seeing a UFO in the sky without any interaction. Second kind is a UFO leaving physical evidence behind. A third kind is observing alien life forms near or inside a
Ah.
UFO.
Makes
Interesting.
sense then. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we're moving on to the next one. I'm assuming, but yeah, I remember the like spacecrafts looking way more toyish and bad, and they did not look bad. Jagger mentioned it. Like they look pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought they looked sick.
It's awesome.
Yeah, they stick
do
to
we
it.
know why they were targeting Barry, by the way, the little kid?
No idea.
They like little boys.
They just like little boys.
So us.
Could be a good sequel.
Also, she was such a terrible mother. Barry ran away all the way onto a highway. And then right when she found Barry, she started talking with another guy, and Barry then wanders right back onto the highway to get hit again. Like, it's great, but like also she's such a terrible mother.
She ran out. She did like a 50-yard sprint in the field. Meanwhile, a spaceship is taking them away. Like, girl, you ain't catching them. You ain't
Yeah.
catching them.
Anyways, I'm glad you all enjoyed it. We can shift gears now, and we can go into Jagger's pick.
Another masterpiece.
Jagger, do your thing. Do your thing.
Yeah, so this might be the best movie of all time. Let's give a little rundown. Blade Runner 2049. The key to the future is finally unearthed. Is the slogan. 30 years after the events of the first film, a new Blade Runner, LAPD Officer K, unearths a long-buried secret that has a potential to plunge what's left of society into chaos. K's discovery leads him on a quest to find Rick Deckard, a former LAPD Blade Runner who has been missing for 30 years. So as you can see, I literally put these up this week. That's Blade Runner 2049. This is just the original Blade Runner. So the funniest story about this is this first time or the second time I tried to watch it, me, Christian, and Jordan were
Yeah.
in my garage, like drunk. We're like 12:30, like, yeah, I'll rent the movie. Let's just start it.
It was like
we
2
fall
a.m.
We fall asleep in like 15 minutes in. I wake up like sweating in like the end of the movie, and they're all passed out asleep. So that was like my first encounter with it. Second one absolutely blew me away, and I don't even know what watch I'm on now, but I think this movie has so much to it, and there's so much to enjoy. It's moved in my top 5 movies of all time. The aesthetic of this
Wow.
movie is absolutely beautiful. Denis brings us to a world that is dystopian cyberpunk, that the world could literally be like blue color, yellow, red, black, white, anything. The shots in this are unbelievable. Like, do you guys know the paint, like the picture where it'll show you in chronological order all the colors of the scenes in the movie? Seeing that seeing that for this movie, I might have to actually buy that too. Phenomenal. What else? The theme of this movie of what it means to be human and who gets his side and like this whole rebellion that's coming, like I just think that is done so perfectly, and he touches such a sensitive subject like slavery, like on top of that, very beautifully, and I think that's very well done. The sound design and the score, a lot of the sound design they took from the first one, but it is still bringing it back in this. It is insane. Like the Ageisha, like she's on like the big screen, awesome. Um, the acting in this is also phenomenal. Gosling is great, obviously. Ana de Armas is great as Joy. My sleeper, even though you guys hate Jared Leto, I think Jared Leto's also good in the little
He
role
was
that he's
good in
given.
this. He was good in this.
I didn't like
but
Jared
my-
Leto in this, man.
Really?
Did you, Jacob?
Really,
Not at all.
Yeah, I agree.
really. I think from what he did, it was so
thought he was
creepy
fine.
and so weird. That I thought it was awesome. But my standout from this watch was Sylvia Hoeks. She plays Love, the other android. I think she gave a phenomenal performance. I think she reminded me of Fade Rotha. Like, doesn't get much screen time, but it was like an absolute psycho.
Yeah.
We'll get into more spoilers in the end, but she plays phenomenal. And the fact that this is also just a mystery movie in the future, phenomenal. This is a masterpiece.
Yeah, so this guy's an all-time Glazer.
I am. I have to be.
Listen, this movie is very good. To your points, the world building is absolutely phenomenal. The shots, the colors, the cinematography, the acting was great. I absolutely love Ryan Gosling now. I used to kind of be against him, but after watching some of his more recent movies, I love the guy. He's great. Ana de Armas is perfect in a lot of ways, let's be honest. Um,
I hope Rachel's not listening.
Yeah, she'll have your
You're
balls for
done.
that one.
some of the themes that you mentioned, the free will versus being controlled by somebody. I love the scenes when they're in the interrogation room and he has to repeat the lines back to make sure that he's still a replicant and he's not kind of becoming a human with like these human emotions. He's still this replicant.
Interlinked.
Yeah,
Or felt
interlinked.
dreadfully.
Yeah.
I loved it. The revolution was so great, but I do want to say I gave this movie a 4 out of 5. My one gripe with the movie seems for me to be a common theme across Denis movies, and that is the pacing just feels a little bit too slow at times for me, and a lot of the time there's just a lack of dialogue. That might be also the reason why I don't necessarily love the first Dune, because I just feel like a lot of times I'm just looking at sand. And yes, like the
So much
spectacle is
dialogue in the
so
first
great.
Dune.
And I will say his spectacle that he creates is probably second to Nolan. It's really those two. Um, but I I don't know. The pacing sometimes just feels a little bit too slow. I'd rather a little bit more dialogue to get more into the characters, more into the plot, the story. Um, you did mention the other replicant, Love. She was absolutely phenomenal, and you compared her to Fade Rotha, right? I actually liked her more than Fade Rotha, and I know that might be a crazy take, as all of you guys absolutely love him as a villain, and a lot of people do. But I thought she was absolutely great. Um, and I will say, a lot of times when you have this is not a remake, but it's obviously off of the first movie. A lot of times when you bring back an old character like Harrison Ford, I don't really love it because they don't do him like they do him a disservice. But I thought the way that the plot was flowing, like the story, it was perfect to bring him back in, and he was absolutely great in it again. I love Harrison Ford. He's awesome. I mean, me and Schnur were even just talking about the new Captain America, and he's great in that movie too. Like the guy just doesn't miss. He's awesome.
Yeah, so I was very in between on this. I'll issue an official spoiler warning as well quick before I get into it because I'm gonna talk about spoilers. Um, I'm gonna have to disagree with you guys a little bit on the Love character. And you said she was a great performance. Saying she's at Fade Raffle level, I think is so disrespectful. I was never for 1 second intimidated by her at all. I thought they were pretty.
Is that
I thought
because
Jared
she's a
Leto was
woman?
pretty weak. What's that?
What do you got against
Yeah,
that?
get his
What do you
ass.
got against
I
that?
thought she was kind of
Get
like
his ass.
overacting and like trying to be like trying so hard to be tough, and it's like, dude, like you're not. Like she just didn't have the presence to me.
If she was a guy, Schnurr's heart rate's at
But
160 beats per minute.
I feel like she
Sad.
had. I feel like she had to be though, because Jared Leto's character, who I actually thought was good, it seemed like he would have just killed her if she didn't get him what he wanted. That's kind of why I thought she was great.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fair. I was just not really into the villains that much. But I did kind of like. I guess I shouldn't call them villains because I did like how they weren't really like they were the antagonists of the story, but like the police were kind of bad too. They were trying to like kill this kid. Like even the Marcia Roy from Succession pulls up and with the whole like freedom fighters or whatever. And like I don't really care about them to be honest. I thought they were kind of like whatever. But even they were like, oh, we have to like kill Deckard. It's like all these people are like trying to do bad, and it's just kind of Kay is like alone. He's like, I just want to reunite this father with the kid, which I thought was really cool. My favorite part easily, actually, well, I mean, the immersive world was great, but my favorite part easily was the dynamic between Ana de Armas and Ryan Gosling. I thought there's a beautiful shot at the start where you first meet her and she takes her finger and like lights his cigarette and then he blows the smoke through her like holographic body, which I thought was a really beautiful shot. And then she goes out in the rain and that whole thing with the blue kind of like glistening on her arms as the rain falls through her.
Yeah.
That was really nice. And there's that scene where they bring in like the prostitute, I guess she is or whatever. She's one of the freedom fighter people. And I thought it looked a little bit wonky. It was like I wasn't really a big fan of it visually at times, but it was so interesting how it was like again, also when Ryan Gosling first meets Love and she mentions, oh, like you're a customer, you have one of our products, and he is a product himself, and he owns one of these like products by the same company that he is, which is just a really interesting dynamic. And then so he's like using her for a connection, and then the hologram girl is using this prostitute for a body, and then he is like simultaneously using both of them for like
Yeah.
sex and a human connection. I thought that was like
So,
so interesting.
Jacob, really quick, sorry to cut you off. Have you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
seen the movie Her?
Yeah.
No, but I do want to watch
So
it.
it is really great. It's one of the movies I thought about bringing to the table. But Schnur, if you know where I'm going with this, I thought there was a very strong parallel with her and that scene, and I love the way that they did it.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was like probably like I said, like it wasn't like it looked kind of weird at times, but I thought just it made me think like so much about that whole dynamic, and I thought that was super interesting. Um, her death was so anticlimactic to me though. Like she like there's this whole scene that she kind of just pops up and she's like, "No, stop!" and then they just stomp on her and she's gone. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, all right,
I
just like
loved it.
don't show up.
Not gonna
I
lie,
didn't.
I loved it.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that, but and I thought so the story was like good. Like it was a solid detective thriller, like definitely a good detective thriller that was elevated a lot by the immersive world. I think if it was like not as great of a world, it would have been probably a solid 4 for me. But I'm a little bit higher on it than that because I think that this world was so incredible. As Jagger mentioned, this like dystopian cyberpunk. It's all these colors. There's that incredible transition from like the fire speckles to the like to them flying through the city. I thought that was incredible. That fired me up. And yeah, oh, I was gonna, the last note I had was that the girl had like a Bane ass backstory because it was literally that whole thing with Talia al Ghul.
Oh
It's like
yeah.
it's like oh like it's the chosen one. It's like this guy like this kid that's out and it's like nope it's actually a girl. It's like
Yeah.
switch up. But I'll let someone else go.
Yeah, I have a couple points. I think we were talking about favorite parts of the movie. I think my favorite part, it might sound cliche, but I think my favorite part was the ending. I thought it was just a beautiful message. You guys know that like the theme of family is like very touching for me in a lot of ways. Like I've touched on that on a bunch of our other prior movies that we've reviewed. And I thought the ending was just so beautifully done. And while Ryan Gosling is, I'm sorry, I forget his character's name. Go ahead, Jagger.
K. K.
Or
Or
Joe.
Joe. Or
Or
Joe.
Joe.
Joe. We'll go
Or
with Joe. We'll go
Joe.
with Joe.
You look like
Let's
a
go.
good Joe.
Let's go, Joey.
While Joey is laying on the stairs and the snow is falling, and then it cuts to her while she's in that globe where she's trapped, and she has the snow falling on her, like the practical snow. Or I just thought it was so just interesting and so amazing to see, so amazing to watch. And you guys know I love Harrison Ford, so like seeing Harrison Ford like enter the back of the frame, and then he touches his hand on the glass. I thought it was just such a beautiful ending. And another part of the film that I really loved was the scene when Joey shows up. Joey. When the other part that I loved was when Joey showed up to. I said Joey again. When he shows up to the club where Harrison Ford is, where he's kind of staying, and the Elvis Presley hologram shows up,
Yeah.
and it's like the juxtaposition of time of like how far society has kind of fallen off from where it's come from. I thought that was really beautiful, and I think just like I said, Harrison Ford, like Jagger, you mentioned last week, like the incredible run he was on in the '70s and '80s, like again, like just shows up. The years it came out in what 2017,
Yeah.
21st century, just like shows up and just absolutely dominates. Like I have so much love for Harrison Ford. I was emotional watching him, seeing how old he is now, and now he looks even older, obviously. I mean, granted, the guy's like 85 years old, but um, really loved it. Like the ending and Harrison Ford, I loved everything about that. The only big gripe I had was Jared Leto. You guys know I'm not a Jared Leto guy, so I'll leave it at that.
He
Yeah.
does break your heart, doesn't he, Harrison Ford?
What's that?
He really does break your heart, doesn't he?
He does, dude. Like jokes aside, like he's just I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that I grew up with him, like in so many of the movies that I've loved growing up, and just seeing him so old.
Yeah.
It's just yeah,
Sorry to interrupt. I completely agree. I was just gonna say,
yeah,
I just completely agree. I literally had this exact same feeling. Where like
yeah.
grew up watching him, and he's like this old guy, but he's still
So
good. That
good,
final
so
shot is
good.
yeah, that
Especially
final
after
shot.
just watching Apocalypse Now and seeing him at 20 years old, and then 2 weeks later he's just like 80 years old. And
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go. I love this movie too. I tried to watch it probably 10 times and just always fall asleep. I think it's just because that like I don't know if it's like the situation I put it on in, but like that first hour is a little slow. And I think that's why I don't have it as like a 5 star. I have it at like a 4.5. That's just like my only really gripe with it. I hate Jared Leto. Absolutely despise him, but I didn't think he was that bad in this one. Like The Little Things, go watch. Actually, don't watch it. He is god awful. That movie's
That movie is
horrendous.
terrible.
Um,
Go watch
so
Requiem though.
yeah, whatever.
Requiem for a Dream.
Nah. But yeah, I mean, this movie was great. Like the whole story was really cool. I love like the sci-fi. Like I was like thinking like about the game like cyberpunk while watching it. So it's funny you said like cyberpunk. But like that whole society is like super sick to me. Um, what else? I'm trying to think of like the points I had. The whole I thought a little thing that was so funny was when Love and Kay were fighting. She just like would always throw like roundhouse kick after roundhouse kick, and I'm just like, there's no
She
really like
dominates.
change up in fighting choreography there. But I just thought, like I actually was like, that's pretty funny. Like she just kept throwing roundhouse kicks. But like that whole scene where he like comes back like in the water, that seems great. Like the last hour and a half is like incredible.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I didn't give it a higher score, is because I love the last hour and a half like so much more than the first hour. And so that's like my only really like gripe with it. And I get like you got to like build a story, and you know it can't just start off like going like super hot. But yeah, still better, like significantly better in my opinion. Um, and then like yeah, just like the story with the kid was great, and like I didn't really see it going that way. Like I usually can like be like, oh, like that's what's gonna happen like at the end, but I had no idea. Like I was completely off guard. And I love how like he thought it was him, and then even when they meet the rebellion, they're like, oh, like you thought it was you, which was pretty funny. Not like funny, but I guess like I don't really know how to explain that, but I just thought that was like a good twist in the story. And then like with the kid at the end, like what Chase said, like the last scene was great. And there's so many memes that come from this movie too. It's so funny. I was like waiting for them. I was like,
I was waiting for Ryan Gosling to scream.
yeah, I was waiting for him to
that one.
He is
scream.
incredible when he does that.
I was waiting for the
Incredible.
"You look lonely." Like I can fix
Oh.
that. Yeah, which
I
is
wanted to
great.
talk about that scene with him
Like a
screaming.
good Joe.
Yeah,
Sounds like you guys you're saying like it's a very popular scene, so you'll see it in like top 10 best acting ever or whatever. It's like a meme, you'll see it. But like going back watching it, knowing the twist and seeing that scene from that perspective, like the girl's performance is I think so much better than his in that scene. Like she is and he's great, but she is like so subtle and unbelievable in that moment. And like again, like knowing that she sees that and knows that it's her memory, it's I if you go back and watch it again, like look out for that. It's really
Yeah.
incredible.
yeah,
Yeah, she has like subtle tears like crawling down. Like imagine you're watching one of your core memories in your life,
From,
or,
like, someone else.
standing up for something, and this other guy you're watching, like he thinks it's him this entire time, and like
Yeah.
taking that away from him, being like, "That's me, not you," is just brutal. Like the whole rabbit hole that kid goes down, like thinking it's him, and he has this importance, only to find out that it's not him. Chef's kiss.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
really
cool.
good.
I want to know what you
Also,
guys. Yeah, go ahead.
there are, so obviously watch the first one because it does. I think it does add to this a little bit too, or a lot, like a lot, because you get to meet Rachel, like his wife, and all this stuff. But there are, I didn't find out until like last week. There are 3 shorts that Denis like came out and like produced that you can find on YouTube. It's Jared Leto like convincing the board to like let him take over what the Tyrell Corp was doing. It was background to Dave Bautista's character that we got to see, and there is one about the blackout in 2020 that like is mentioned so many times throughout this, and you have no idea what they're talking about. So those are all
cool.
great. I think you should watch those.
It's interesting. I want to know what your guys' thoughts were on the scene where I believe his name is Wallace, right? Jared Leto. His last name is
Mhm.
Wallace. So his main goal is trying to get these replicants to reproduce, I believe. And there's the one scene where they have this woman come out as like a child, but it's a grown woman, like a grown woman's
Oh,
body, and she
yeah,
comes
that
out
was
naked,
weird.
but she's like wet and slimy. I thought that scene was so unsettling, but that's where the movie for me like really kicked off. Was okay, like this movie is kind of shifting. This is like kind of where it's starting for me. I loved it.
Yeah,
I
you
love that
got
scene
this
as
guy
well.
playing God, like, and he can just
Yeah,
do that so easily. He could take away life, he can make life. He's like, he literally says in the scene, we can never make as many as we can. Like if we could take over the stars literally, and it kills one right after, showing you like this is not what I want. I want so much more than this.
It was awesome.
Yeah, and that actress who like had very little part didn't say any lines. Like I thought she did a really good job, just like embodying that
Yeah.
fear in that moment. Like that was I love that scene as well. And he had all like the I think they were cameras, right? Those things that were flying out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
those
like
are his
because he couldn't
eyes. Like
see.
So,
Yeah,
he's
okay.
blind. He like
yeah,
puts them in, and
That's
these
what
are
I was
all
gonna
like
ask.
yeah.
examining.
That was so cool. I thought that was really sick.
To me, that was the best scene in the movie.
I
I
think
also, oh sorry, but just quick, the Rachel scene whenever she comes out and Harrison Ford's are like her eyes were green,
Amazing.
Yeah.
that was
incredible.
my review.
I
Yeah,
was
that is phenomenal.
So I thought of making that my review at one point, Chase, because I said so. I didn't say this at the top, but I watched it one night, couldn't just didn't fully lock into it. I figured I should have liked it more than I did, so I ran it back the next night, and I was more locked in for sure. That's why I have it at 4.5. Or I'll announce my pick now, but whatever. Um, I went back and when I was looking at like the girl, like the daughter, I'm like, if her eyes are fucking green, I'm giving this 5 stars. And it gets to the scene, I didn't give it 5 stars, but I get to the scene and her eyes were actually fucking green, and I was like, let's go. Like, it was like a fist bump moment.
That's
I was like, oh my god, like they actually made the
incredible.
daughter's eyes green. That was perfect.
Yeah.
I think
So-
one big thing too that we're missing from this conversation is the standout quote from the film that says, "Dying for the right cause is the most human thing you can do." I thought that
I
was
just got chills.
incredibly touching. Like, I thought about making that my Letterboxd review. Like, I mean, I went with the her eyes were green because I figured it was just more hype.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that quote was. I mean, it's still like I'm thinking about it now. Like I'm still thinking about it. Like that's how touching it was.
Yeah, that was great. I'll give my review now. I gave it a 4.5. I think I said that, but it's my daily P or my weekly P on the episode. So I'll be right back.
See you in a bit.
I gave this movie a 4, but there is one thing I want to bring up. I wish Jordan was here for it because it kind of goes to his point. It seems like some of our problems with this movie is like the pacing, how it's kind of a little bit too slow. For me, I was saying that's a consistent theme for me with Denis movies. And then I even watched an interview on him talking, and he mentioned that ideally he would love to make a film, or his favorite film would be a film that literally has no dialogue at all. He would love to just have the viewers just be completely immersed in this world and just focus on the cinematography rather than the actual dialogue. And obviously, I don't think you should take that literally. I don't really think he means it to that extent, but kind of want to hear what you guys think about the pacing of his movies. If you guys enjoy it, if maybe he sped up Blade Runner a little bit, like can cut some of the time out. Do you think he would have liked it more? What do you guys think about that?
Pacing's good. I
Uh,
never feel slow. I never felt it was slow. I was just like not like when I first watched it. I just wasn't like I was like I don't know what it was that was like keeping me from being fully invested. Um, but yeah, I mean, I kind of like I said, I think some like there were some anticlimactic moments for me, because I didn't really care about the villains either that much. But yeah, I mean, I think the pacing's fine. I also think saying that the dialogue in Dune is like not that good is crazy. There's so much good dialogue in Dune.
No. I'm not saying the
Um,
dialogue is bad in Dune. I'm saying I think more so the scenes that there is no dialogue and it's just these long cuts of you just like kind of being in this world, which is great. It's good for world building. But for me, at times, it makes it just feel a little bit slow. And Jordan, what I was saying is how I think in a lot of Denis movies, he more so focuses on like the cinematography rather than the dialogue because it's just like the
I
pacing
agree.
for me seems slow. So I just wanted to, because I know you and Chase were saying how this movie's a little bit slow, so I wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's just like Denis, I feel like, which is also like it's half the reason I love the movies. It's half the reason why I'm like, like
Yeah.
sometimes on certain movies. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. So like,
Yeah.
I can't really like be like, oh, I wish he did more dialogue and less cinematography. Like,
It's fair.
I don't think I wish that. I think it's more of a me problem. Like locking into the movie for that first
Yeah.
hour.
So for me, I totally agree. I think it's great to have that, but I think it makes the rewatchability of his movies go down for me a little bit. I know I keep mentioning that I need to do like a double feature on Dune, but those movies are so long. I feel like there's so many scenes where you can take out. It's like I can't really just rewatch a 3 hour movie on a whim. And most of his movies are longer than 2.5 hours. Even Prisoners is so long. So I don't know. It's just kind of how I feel about him as a director. He's great, but it's kind of my thoughts on it.
Denis is my favorite director, so like I love the cinematography. I think it's phenomenal. That's why Dune 2 is my favorite movie of all time. I am like a whore for cinematography, so
So pretty much go fuck yourself, Christian.
Yeah, pretty much.
that's just me. I completely understand both ways, but I just like I think that kind of I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I think it kind of raises the rewatchability because you could focus in on like one scene like so much differently, like so much different every time, and you could see the beauty in the set behind instead of just focusing on the character's words. You're able to take in much more than you would be on the first watch.
That's totally fair.
I agree. I wanted your Jagger to talk about it more because it's like you said, like one of your favorite movies ever.
Mhm.
Do you know whose eye that was? The opening, because again, that was like
It's his
the movie
daughter. I'm
opens.
pretty sure.
It was
I'm pretty
okay.
sure
I
it's
was
his
wondering
green
that.
daughter eyes. I'm
'Cause it literally
pretty
opens up.
sure.
Yeah, it literally opens up the eye, and it's like the sound, and then they're flying over that thing, and I was like, oh, we're already in.
It was a
Like,
green
Yeah.
eye
I
too,
was like,
right?
Mhm.
Wasn't it a
was it?
green eye?
That's why I was like
Yeah,
wondering. I forgot about that. Like I didn't really pay attention to the color, but yeah,
Yeah.
that
pretty sure.
opening
I'm
shot,
pretty
I
sure
was
it
like,
was.
oh,
I could be wrong,
Opening.
but
It's like a greenish blue, but it's more green. Like you would call that green. So opening on that, knowing the end, is also insanely special.
yeah.
yeah, I to finish that note off, Christian, to your question, like yes, the movie like is long, obviously, and like it felt slow, but I felt like the beauty of the cinematography kind of kept me in it, and like it didn't feel like a slow burn. Like yeah, the movie's long, but it didn't feel like a slow burn movie for me. I think like to Jagger's point, because of the cinematography and how beautiful it was. Like if there's a movie where the cinematography is like there's it's ass, then like and it's a slower movie, then yeah. But I think in this case specifically because of how beautiful the movie was that I didn't really feel that it was like a slow burn type feel, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't want it to make it seem like I'm knocking Denis so much. Like I do like him as a director. I think he's put out a ton of great movies. So just
Yeah. I
wanted to
think
give
it's I mean it's a fair question to ask, I
yeah.
think.
Completely.
I gave it a 4.5, I think. I have to double check, but while you guys are giving your ratings, I'll double check.
4 for me.
4.5.
Four and a
I'll
half.
settle there.
If you go on my letterbox, you could see another beautiful shot in the background of Gosling like bleeding out in the snow. I glazed this movie, so I gave it 100 out of 5.
I did give it a 4.5, and I'm looking at it right now. I'm shocked to see listener of the pod, Davis Kelly, gave it a 3.5.
He don't know. He
Shocked
don't
to
know
Mm,
see that.
film. He
you don't
don't
know
know film.
ball. You don't know
You
ball.
He doesn't like When Harry Met Sally. So
That's crazy.
shout
I
out
haven't
we
seen
Davis.
it.
Wow.
I'll let him know to. I'll let him know to listen.
bef-
That's
bef-
crazy.
before the episode we had a little bit of dialogue on should they make another movie, and Jagger was mentioning that there could be a series in the works. What do you guys think? Do you think that they should make another one, or you think this is it? They should just leave it as it is?
I think they should leave it. I thought like I said, the ending was so beautiful for me. I think like I wouldn't touch that.
For me, I always like just more content, like more
Yeah.
things to watch. I feel like it doesn't like take away, which a lot of people think it like takes away from the last movie. Obviously, with Star Wars being the one exception, um, those last three. But I
Yeah.
feel like if they just more content, I would like more content. I wouldn't be against it.
So you could show like this whole rebellion like that they're talking about in this. Christian, one of our like me and Christian had talked once about Star Wars. What should they do to fix it? We're like go so far into the future that they basically forget, like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes did. Like you basically forget, and its story becomes so like turns. I think if
Mhm.
you do that for this, because I think it was 2099 is what they wanted to do. If you go 50 years in the future, you're gonna forget some things. Could be in the middle of the war. I think there's a lot to do there,
Make a
and
new
obviously
story.
I want more content as well. So I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they have another plot that they can touch into with that, and I think the only thing is I'm thinking about Terminator right now, that franchise, and I think it might be a little bit too similar to that if they were to continue with it.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
feel like
kind
it's
of
like
like
it's a different
similar.
style of
It
movie though.
is. It is.
So I think it would be kind of a different, or even like the Blackout. Like give us like a
Hmm.
HBO show about the Blackout or something. That'd be sick.
Sorry, I was having some network problems, but yeah, I kind of agree. Like, even if they drop a show, like, yeah, you can check it out or not. Like, I like the movie. I'll watch the movie. You know, if it's not that good, it's like whatever. The movies are still there, like Jordan said. It's kind of feel like Dune. Like, I love the two Dune movies. Like, I didn't watch the Dune show because it's not Denis. It's not his world. Like, I don't really care about any of that. Like I'm just gonna watch the movies that I like.
Yeah, no reason to
That's
watch
fair.
that show either. I quit after 4.
I didn't hate it. I mean, obviously it wasn't even close to like the movies, but I feel like it was a lot of like it was like a Dune Game of Thrones style show. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
I could
Is like what
appreciate
I
that,
explained
but
it.
when you're missing like Greg Fraser, Denis, and Hans Zimmer doing this, like the big
Yeah.
three who are making this movie, it's extremely hard to live up to expectations doing
Yeah,
that.
I mean it wasn't
Totally.
as good as the movies, like not even close,
Yeah.
but I thought it was a good watch if you like love, the movies. Like I'd watch it. Don't like expect it to be as like amazing as the movies, but still not horrible.
Well, I think we had some pretty good discussions about those reviews. I think we got 3 really strong movies from last week. It might be hard to live up to that for next week. What do you
It's
guys
probably my
think?
favorite week. That's
Yeah.
probably my
Yeah.
favorite week.
This was good. This was
Yeah.
good.
We said it was kind of a weird lineup too, like not what we
Yeah.
expected.
Yeah.
So
So I guess unless you guys have any final points about Blade Runner or any of the movies that we watched, we can jump into who's who.
Let's do who's who.
Let's go.
should we rate? Should we
right.
rank them?
This,
Or
this,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
let's
Sorry,
rank
yeah,
them,
yeah.
yeah.
Let's rank them. My fault.
Oh, this is gonna be hard.
yeah, it is hard.
Oh, this is gonna be
Anyone
very
else want to go
hard.
first?
Yeah, I have Close Encounters 1, Blade Runner 2, Tenet 3.
I have the same order.
I got Blade Runner, Tenet, Close Encounters.
You go, Schnur. There's such like
I-
different
I-
styles of movies. It's hard for me. Or I
I
guess
feel like
Tenet
I-
and Blade Runner aren't, but
'Cause I feel like
Close
I started
Encounters.
off like kind of negative on Blade Runner, but like, I gave it a 4.5. Like I really, really liked it. And I originally gave Close Encounters a 4 and moved it up after talking. I don't know. They're so close for me. I'll give Blade Runner the edge at 1 for now, and I'll put Close Encounters 2 and then Tenet 3.
Yeah, I'll go Close
A
Encounters
lot of
1.
big
I mean, just
moves.
based on like Letterboxd score, I think I have to. I feel like it's just hard for me to compare like Close Encounters to Tenet and Blade Runner. I'll probably go Tenet 2, Blade Runner 3, but that's like they could be 2A, 2B, like both 2, like equals. But I'll go with that.
I do think Tenet and Blade Runner are films that would be better on rewatch. I know, Jacob, you said that you've rewatched Blade Runner so many times and it's kind of rising for you.
I watched it once like my freshman year of college. And I really liked it, and then I watched it this past week, and then I watched it the next night just to lock in a little more. That was
Yeah.
that was it. But yeah, it's good.
I mean, like Tenet, I've seen like 7 times, and it's better every time I watch it. I think you guys definitely. I mean, you don't have to watch it like recently,
I would like to rewatch it for
but
sure.
I
would
think
too.
definitely rewatch it within like a year.
It improved
Yeah.
on
You'll
me on
like it
rewatch
more.
for sure. It definitely helped to rewatch it.
All
Jagger?
right, so
Or-
my fault.
or
Jagger,
you
did
give
you?
his ranking?
I gave mine.
Jagger
Okay.
went.
My bad.
Blade Runner at the top, 1,000 feet of shit, and then the rest.
No, I mean, I liked both other movies. They are drastically different from each other, and I think that was something special. I think that's good that we did this week. But I just love Blade Runner, so.
Fair.
All right, so let's jump into Who's Who. Who's Who is essentially, I'm going to be presenting you guys with Letterboxd reviews and ratings and movies. Or excuse me, I'm going to be presenting you guys with Letterboxd your reviews, and we're going to be guessing who made the review, and we're guessing the movie. There's also going to be, I'm going to be pairing you guys into teams. So each team will have one chance at a double-double where you have to guess the score of the movie from that person. And if you get that score, then you get a double point to your total. So I'm just going to be pairing teams based totally random. Since Jagger and Christian are on the left side of my screen, you guys are going to be one team. Jordan and Schnur,
Go.
you guys will be the other
got-
team on the right
got
side
the
of my
goat.
screen.
I got the
Oh.
goat. You guys
Dominant.
are fucked.
Lock in.
Should we put on
Are
our
we
yarmulkes for
excited,
this
or are
one?
we like?
Yeah. Let's
I'm
do
pumped.
it.
Do-
I'm ready to go.
Do you need both the review and the movie to get full points?
So if you get the review, so one team will have a chance to get the review and the movie. If you get the review, you can guess the movie. If you get both correct, you get 1 point for each, totaling to 2 points per question, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
If they don't get
So-
it, then does it go to the other team?
Yeah, so it's gonna go to the other team, and then we're just gonna go down the list, and we're gonna alternate teams. So since we read left to right, Jagger and Christian are on the left side of my screen. We'll start off with them with the first review of Who's Who. I'm actually excited.
Okay.
See, I just want to preface like this might be very easy for you guys, and we could get this done in like 90 seconds for all I know. So I just do want to preface that, in case it ends up sucking. So we'll see what
Me and
happens.
Christian have time
Let's
like
see.
for a second to like talk about it too. Like we're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
just blurting out an answer.
yeah. Do your thing.
I might have missed it. Is it like first to a certain amount of points?
No, so it's 15 reviews I have. Whoever just
Okay.
comes out with the most points
The
on the
most
other
points.
side. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I have a
Okay.
quick question, Chase. Just
Yeah,
quick.
yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry. If can we get like the movie and not the person, or you have to get the person first and then the movie?
The movie and not the person. So, yeah. So if you just get one or the other, then you just get a point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're coming to a guess. We're coming with you. We're coming with two guesses. Like this person
Yeah.
did this.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
figure I figure you would probably need the review first, like the person first, and then the movie. I figure that would just how the systematically it would work
Probably
easier.
easier.
We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Who knows?
I'm just writing down your guys' names so I can keep track of points. Okay.
We're gonna
This is
see
fun.
who's who.
This is fun.
All right, so first up, we're gonna go with Christian and Jagger. This review, the review solely says sure.
I mean,
Okay, that's
Christian, that's
either-
just something that Schnur says, right?
It's either me or Schnur. I'm gonna lean Schnur.
Really?
I'm gonna lean
I thought it could have
Schnur.
been me too.
I think it's Schnur. Schnur's like a big on the one-liner. Sure, he's big on that,
Yeah.
and I love it.
I saw this the other day
Um,
too, but I don't know who it is.
What
Do we want
movie it
to?
is?
Yeah, like, what is he saying? Sure.
I'm trying to think of like his 5-star movies that he's seen
I was
recently.
thinking like Dune 2. Just because he's like, sure, it's phenomenal. Seen it so many times, he's logged it and like written it. You know?
That's fair. I think that's a good guess. I think we could roll with that.
Okay,
Alright,
so
you
you're
wanna lock it in?
with Schnur and for Dune 2.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna lock that in.
All right, both of those are incorrect. It is
Wow.
not Schnur, and it is not Dune 2. So now Jordan and Schnur, you guys have a chance to match. If you guys don't get it, then we'll just move on to the next question. I'll tell you guys what it was, and we can move on.
Okay. I don't know the
honestly had-
movie Schnur, but I think might be Jagger.
Yeah, I honestly kind of thought it was me too. So now I'm kind of thrown off.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I
Okay.
I
And
think
I
we
was, I
might
was
all have
confident
that.
saying I would know my reviews before, and yeah. Wait, I think it is Jagger.
Great.
I think it's Jagger.
Great.
Wait.
I don't know what the movie is though.
Oh, it's like something. Is it Mulholland Drive? Maybe. It might be Mulholland Drive.
All right, let's go with it.
I'm gonna lock that in. Is it Mulholland
All right,
Drive?
Jagger, Mulholland Drive, lock it in.
That is incorrect. It's not Mulholland
I thought
Drive.
that was right. I
Or
totally had a
Jagger.
false.
So
I had
it's
a false memory. I'm
Christian?
like,
Is
oh,
it
dude, I
me?
wrote that.
This review goes to Christian, and the
what?
movie.
Can I guess
was
the movie really quick? Oh,
I
La La
just-
Land.
Yeah,
La
the
La
movie
Land.
was La La Land.
That's shocking.
Wow.
I thought it was me or Schnur, but I don't know why I wrote that for La La Land. I thought I would
Dude,
have
I
had
thought
a
it was-
better
I thought it
I
was
review.
had a
me
feeling
after.
it was Jagger. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
okay.
just write one-word
I
reviews.
feel like
I'm
you
actually
did something like that for Mulholland Drive.
I'm actually like fired up that you guys didn't get that. I mean, I know it's a little on the tougher side, but I like that. I enjoy that. Okay, we'll move on to the next question. So this one now, Jordan and Schnur, you guys will start. This review says, quote, "This is the worst movie I have ever seen in my entire life. I wish I could give it a 0."
It's me.
Is
It's
that
me
Aquaman?
and it's Aquaman.
Is that your final
Yeah,
answer?
that's-
Final answer. Lock it in.
Okay, that is correct.
That's cookies. That's
I mean, that was
ridiculous.
cookies.
That was
That's correct.
ridiculous.
So,
I mean,
Oh.
how are you gonna give their
He
team
gives us
their
sure, and he
It's
gives
random.
You,
it was totally random.
It's random. We could have went first.
Fair.
Oh, that's
All right.
great.
So
2
bear
points
with
for
me.
us.
I'm just
Two
writing
to,
it down.
two to you guys. Two to
That's
you guys.
hilarious.
I was
All right,
waiting for
next-
that review.
Moving on to the next one. I just gotta find it in my phone. I have all the screenshots. They're just out of order. Okay. Next one. This next review is, quote, "Absolutely nuts. Terrified to go to bed."
Oh, is there a 100 in there? You think too? Yeah.
Yeah, I will say I will be censoring certain things from some of these reviews to like not give away who the person is.
Like Chase gives a
So-
100 emoji like after every review.
Correct.
So Jagger, again, I'm
I
between me
wouldn't.
and Schnur. I'm between
I
me and
really,
Schnur.
I think it's between you, Schnur, and Chase. I think me and Jordan are out. Or I don't think
I think it's me and Schnur, and I want to say the movie is Talk to Me.
Oof.
Um,
If you have a feeling, go ahead.
Who would you go between me and Schnur? I don't know.
I would have picked you because I picture 3 exclamation points at the end. Like, oh my god.
Okay, well, if it's me, let me think about like horror movies that I've seen recently, if any.
It could also just be Chase. Like,
Well, I will say this is from the beginning of Letterboxd. Like, it doesn't have to
Fair.
be the last 2 weeks. Doesn't have to be the last 6 months. Like, it's just from the
This is
moment
all
you start
time.
reviews.
I
Yeah.
w- Jagger, I want to say it's me, and I want to say it's Talk to Me.
let's go with it then.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Locked.
Moving on to Schnur
Damn.
and Jordan.
I don't think it's me.
I
but
think it
don't
might be
know.
Chase.
It could be.
Wow, I'm shocked.
I was literally gonna say that this sounds like an Ava review or something. Like, I was
That's awesome.
I don't know what the
Um,
movie is, but I think it's Chase.
what was it again? Can you read it back again? Are you allowed to do that?
Yeah. Absolutely nuts. Terrified to go to bed.
Absolutely nuts. Terrified to go to bed.
Well, Schnur doesn't say absolutely nuts, I feel like.
It sounds like Christian. But wait, Christian guessed himself, right? So that's no.
Yeah.
So I think we go with the closest other option, which
Yeah.
would be Chase.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait, you guessed yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you guessed Jagger.
Oh,
No,
he
I
was
guessed
right then.
myself.
Okay, so you get a point for that then. Sorry, that's on me. You get a point
Let's
for that.
go.
But
I
you
knew
got the
it,
movie
Jagger.
wrong.
Wait.
Bro.
But I'm
board.
sorry,
Yo,
that's on me. But you
bang.
got the person, but not the movie. That's on me.
That's
That reminds
funny.
me of.
That's a Das Boot situation
Yep,
right
that's
there.
a Das
Das
Boot.
Boot.
Sorry about that, boys.
All good?
So we
Was
could say
the
the other point
movie?
though.
So you guys can guess the movie then for a point.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
Absolutely nuts. Terrified to go to bed. I don't know. I mean, like,
I don't really know horror films.
did he write that for like Cure?
Mm.
Is that your final answer?
No.
Okay.
I don't know what it could be.
I don't know how I butchered that. Sorry, guys. That's on me.
Jagger's pointing at the watch for a timer,
Pointing
here,
at the watch.
but fuck him.
Shining.
I'll give you guys
Like a horror
15
movie.
seconds starting now.
Go with your gut, Schnur. If you think it's The Cure, rip it. Or Cure. I don't even know what that
10.
movie is.
Chase, I know what movie it is.
Doesn't
Too
matter.
late.
Bozo.
5, 4, 3.
I'm gonna send The Shining.
It's The Shining.
It's not The Shining.
Ah!
It's not The Shining. The movie was
Fox.
Alien.
Alien.
Wow.
Yeah, the movie was Alien.
Dude,
Especial.
so I watched this for the first time at Rachel's place when she was living off campus, and she fell asleep. But I was watching this at 2 a.m. And if you know me, I go to bed pretty early. I was fucking locked in like I've never been locked into a movie. Like this movie, just the anxiety it gives you is absolutely unbelievable, and it's awesome. So that's probably why I said it.
So incredible.
All right. Review number 4. We have, quote, I figured at the very least it would be fun on the chance it was a bad movie. I couldn't have been more bored and uninterested. Save your money.
Save your money.
This one's too easy.
Hey,
Well, you're up.
No, we're not.
No,
No,
we're
we're not.
up.
They're up. They're up.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. we
Oh, yeah,
just
you
went.
are up.
They
You
just
are up.
went. We guessed
right,
the
you're
movie.
Wow, I'm bad.
Sounds
host
like
today.
Christian.
Yeah, it sounds like him. So save your money. So he probably went. Oh, was it that movie he went with Stanko on the double date? What was that movie?
Oh, Baby Girl.
Baby girl.
Wait, you read it one more time, Chase.
I figured at the very least it would be fun on the on chance it was a bad movie.
Not Baby Girl.
I couldn't have been more bored and uninterested. Save your money.
Okay.
Yeah, not Baby Girl. Sounds like probably like a Marvel movie.
Oh, is it the
Like-
Captain America?
I'll give you guys 20
it.
seconds.
I don't think that was his review for Captain America. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know, Jordan. Do you have any ideas?
10 seconds.
I mean, it sounds
guess
like
Captain America.
Christian. I said we go Christian.
Okay.
5, 4, 3,
I don't know.
2.
Brave
I
New
don't know
World.
that movie.
I'll say Captain America.
All right, Christian and Captain America.
Both Christian and Captain
Great, we're
America
fucked.
are incorrect.
Christian, it's Twisters, right?
I think it's you. I think
I
this
don't think
sounds
it's
like
me.
you.
I think it's
Oh,
Chase.
fuck.
I think it's Chase. I think it's Twisters.
Mm.
I think it's
Oh,
Twisters
wow.
because you guys all went, and I just remember so many being like, yes, you would think it'd be fun, but it sucked like
That's so fair.
But also, Chase probably would have said something about Glenn Powell in the review.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chase, read it back one last time.
I figured at the very least it would be fun on the on chance it was a bad movie. I couldn't have been more bored and uninterested. Save your money.
Save your
It-
money.
It's
I don't think Jordan
difficult.
would write that full thing out.
It's difficult
don't
with
think it's
Chase and
me.
Christian because I feel like they sound the same.
And it's definitely not you. You don't think it's you?
It's definitely not me. It's
And
definitely
it's
not
not
me. If it's
me.
me, it'd be hilarious. But
I'll
I
give you
don't
guys
think it is.
20 seconds
Okay,
starting now.
let's go Chase. What movie should we go?
I think it's Twisters. I think it's Twisters.
Let's
Because
lock
let's think
it.
about like how long Chase has been like on Letterboxd. Like it hasn't been
10,
like so overly long.
9,
that
No,
he's
you're
going to
right,
movie
you're right.
theaters. All right, lock it
7.
in. Chase and Twisters.
Twisters and me.
There's
Yeah.
no way.
Incredible show.
Ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding,
Wow,
Jagger.
Jagger!
Wow.
You didn't say anything about Glenn Powell in that review. That's
Oh my
Jagger.
god.
That was an
What a
incredible show.
pull.
Are you
Jagger,
kidding me?
that's
That's
impressive.
nuts.
You know
Let's
what?
go.
That just goes to show how well you know me. That's pretty awesome.
That's
Sick.
great. I think we take the lead 3-2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Let's
now you
go.
guys are up. Now it's
Commissioner's
your
talking to a brick wall right now. Like I'm just like maybe. And it just goes back to him.
And we're up.
Alright.
Let's go.
All right,
Balls
you
in our
guys are on the
court.
clock. The next review is
Me.
Yeah.
That's me. That's me about Mulholland Drive. I'm pretty sure. That's without a doubt in my mind. Let's get one. Let's get me for the point. I think it's Mulholland Drive too.
You're gonna know better than me if it's you. So
Yeah, because I think I was literally just like, yeah, I think it's gotta be.
is it that, or didn't you watch Blue Velvet recently?
No, because I said Frank was ripping that shit in my review.
Okay. Okay. I'm with it. I'm with it then. You seem pretty confident.
final answer.
Let's go Jagger and Mulholland Drive.
Ding, ding, ding.
Fuck that, man.
That's another 2
Let's
for
go.
you two.
I knew it was one of those like just nothing like
Yeah,
oh.
sure. Or,
Something
Dude,
like
I want to know
that.
how
Yeah.
many of those things I have just one word.
The lead right now.
I'm thinking
Oh my
about-
god! And that was a daily double. You guys get an extra point.
What the
Wait,
fuck?
wait. I
You
thought
didn't
Daily
know-
Double was have to guess the stars too.
Oh, that is true. That is
Jagger,
true.
what's the stars?
The stars on Mulholland Drive?
Yeah.
3.5 or 4.
Oh shit.
I'm a terrible host. This is bad.
Should we
But it's
wager our
also,
points
like-
too?
well, it's- no, because it's also like Jordan.
Jacob knows the
Jordan
rules of my game
could've-
better than I do.
Jordan could have gotten an extra point for Aquaman because it's obvious that it was also a half a star. Too,
Yeah.
and they got both.
Yeah, but that wasn't the Daily Double.
It wasn't the daily double.
Is Daily
this
Double
is
just
the
a
Daily
random
Double.
round?
Oh, did
Random
I give
round.
Jagger, I have to lean on
3.5
you
or
for
a
this.
4?
I
I gave
gotta
it a
know.
3.5 or a 4.
How much did you like the movie?
I'll give you guys 20
I
seconds.
said after, so that doesn't really give me anything. Because of I'm going with 3.5.
Final answer.
Yeah.
That is an additional point for you guys.
Wow.
That movie's
guys-
so good. Why is that 3.5?
You guys are up
I probably
6
gotta
to
rewatch
2.
it. I
Chase, I'm
because
thinking-
I didn't know what was going on.
I'm thinking
So
about
funny.
like some of the reviews I've written before, and I hope you put one of them that I'm thinking of right now in this game.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with you. I don't know. All right, next review.
Oh my god.
The review. This is a daily double, by the way. This is a back-to-back daily double. So this is the
Okay.
last daily double of the game.
Okay. We need this.
The review says, and I quote, "Pathetic."
What?
Wait. Okay, I know this is Christian. And I saw the TV glow, I think. And I think it's 1.5 stars.
Dude,
Wow.
this
No
guy,
guessing
this guy's,
stars.
I'm
this
almost
guy's
positive.
doing research. This guy
I'm
has to
almost
be doing
100%
research.
positive.
Dude,
Don't
he
guess- don't guess
scans
stars yet, don't guess
Letterboxd.
stars.
I'm almost 100%.
He scans Letterboxd. That's why it's good. He's with me.
Lock
That
it
would
in,
be a
Jordan.
crazy poll.
Lock it in.
Lock that shit in,
Lock it in.
Chase. Give me 3 points. 6-5.
I'm gonna
How
start calling Jacob Steph Curry because he just hit a
Wow.
three.
That
That's
was
crazy.
crazy.
I mean, you just went 3 for 3 in 10 seconds.
Off
Oh.
pathetic.
Should,
Pathetic.
should we make sure
remember
Jacob's phone
Christian
is not
text-
near him?
He
What'd
wouldn't
you say?
cheat.
Flip it
He
upside
wouldn't cheat.
down.
No, I'm not cheating, I swear to God.
This is a ball game again.
It's a
This is
ball
a
game.
ball game.
I remember Christian texting us like 2 a.m. like this movie's the worst.
Brutal.
It's a ball game because I have movie genius, movie Jesus on my team.
Someone needs to tell me why people like that movie. Like,
I
it's
don't know.
insane.
I couldn't even finish it. What are they? The Pink Pony Club or what were they called?
The Pinko
Dude,
Pig.
I don't know.
It was the
Pinko
Pinko
Pig,
Pig.
yeah.
Pink. Yeah.
Jagger and Christian, it's your turn for review number 7. The review for this one, another one word, sigh.
Sigh.
Hmm.
I wouldn't sigh. I think Schnur would sigh.
I wouldn't sigh.
I wouldn't sigh either. I don't say sigh.
Chase might sigh.
I'm between Jordan and Chase, I think.
All right, if we both think it's Chase, like one of them that is, I still kind of think it's Schnur that is just like disappointed in something.
I think it's Schnur.
But if you don't think it is, we could do Chase because we both said him.
What about a movie? It has to be like a good movie that was a big letdown, right? So
Yes, yeah.
I'll give you guys 30 seconds from here.
Like, what are you doing?
um this one's tough.
I don't know if I can get a movie off with this one.
I'll go Chase.
10 seconds.
What didn't he like?
Some like Avengers fucking movie or something like that.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just go Chase.
Final
That's all I
answer.
got. Chase.
Chase the Avengers. We'll go with that.
That is a double A,
I 100% know it, Jordan.
which shifts the pace
Let's go.
to Jacob and Jordan.
Wow.
It is me, and it's the Batman with like Adam West movie, like from whatever 19 whatever.
That is a
Six.
double whammy. It's the 1966 Batman where
66.
Jacob said sigh. That's 2 points, and you guys just took the lead. You guys were down, what, 5-1, and you just
Let's
took the lead?
go.
Yeah.
That's big.
Oh
I
my
did that recently. That was when I
god.
did my whole Batman rewatch.
This
Like
kid's
all the Batman
insane.
movies.
So now you guys have you have a chance to take a commanding lead here with this next one.
What's the
Jacob,
score?
Jordan. Right now it is 7-6.
Wow.
Okay.
7-6. Team Jagger, or excuse me, Team Jordan and Jacob. Jordan and Jacob, you guys are back on the clock. This review says, quote, excruciating watch, WTF.
Excruciating watch. WTF.
Got any good
WTF
reviews
is in
on
all
that?
caps, if that helps anything.
Mm.
It's in all caps.
The all caps
Just,
gives me
just the
Christian.
just the
Um,
WTF is in all caps.
Oh,
Like that does anything.
It changes
does.
a lot.
No, it
That
does.
so
It does.
much. That
Changes
does
a
so
lot.
much.
It's either Chase or Christian for past lives, I think.
Mm. WTF. All caps. Excruciating.
I want to say
I want to see
Christian?
Christian. Yeah.
yeah, because I think Chase said something like maybe like it was the La La Land esque in this review, and I think Christian might.
I don't think Chase would say
Guys, 15
excruciating.
seconds.
Okay, so Christian, and I'm like good saying past lives.
Yeah. I trust you.
Final
King.
answer.
Christian past lives, yeah.
You guys went 1 for 2. The
Mm.
movie is Past Lives, but you didn't get the right person.
Yeah. I wouldn't say WTH in all caps. That's
I thought you
gotta be
would.
Chase.
WTF.
WTF.
I was gonna
yeah.
say-
W2F.
WTF.
I think
So
you
it's
would.
Chase, correct?
I'm usually a exclamation point guy, not like an all caps in a word.
It's your
So
calling
unless I'm-
card.
Who do you guys think it is?
I think it's Chase.
Yeah, I didn't say that for that.
Yeah.
I don't think Jordan would have known because he just watched it.
Well-
It's got to be Chase.
Me and Chase also just watched it together.
Yeah, but Jordan would have known because Jordan watched
Yeah.
it less than like a week and a half ago.
Yeah, we're going
Ch-
Chase.
Schnur
It has to
wouldn't
be
say
Chase.
that, and I didn't say that. Yeah.
Final answer.
Yeah.
You guys get a point. It was me.
We're still up one.
Yeah.
So there, yeah, you guys are still up 1, but now the sticks move back to Jagger and Christian. You guys might have just blown an opportunity. We'll see what happens.
Let's see.
All right, next review is gonna be, here we go. Okay, I will say again, I'm gonna censor something in this to get rid of like who the person is, to get dead giveaway. Okay. This review says, good chuckles. Refuse to rewatch it though.
I would never say Chuckles. So
Jordan's
it's
gotta
not
be
me.
the only way to say Chuckles.
I don't even think I say Chuckles.
But it could be Chase. Chase,
Hold
are
on,
you
hold on,
going out
hold
the
on,
100?
hold on. We just watched that movie 47. Is that not you,
Movie 43.
Jagger? Movie 43. Is that
I
not
would-
you, Jagger?
Shoot me. Take me outside and shoot me if I say Chuckles. I did not say Chuckles.
Chase,
Oh my God.
give it to us one more time.
Sure, I'd say Chuckles.
I'll give you guys 30 seconds from here. Good Chuckles. Refuse to rewatch it though.
So it's Jordan wasn't there, so you think it's Chase movie 43?
Or could it be Schnur?
Jordan, no, Schnur's not saying Chuckles. Schnur's not saying Chuckles. I think it's Jordan or
The
Chase.
thing is, like, I don't
Jordan
think
could have
any
watched
of
it
us
so
say
long.
Chuckles.
This guy's on our
9,
team down here. What's he
8,
doing?
7,
Sorry.
6.
I'll shut my mouth.
Five.
Let's go with Chase and
Chase
movie
43.
That's 0 for 2.
Double incorrect.
Wow.
I know it's Schnur. It's me.
You. It's
This
you.
guy's playing both sides over here. He's
You guys
playing
didn't have to
both
listen to me.
sides.
It's me for strays. Thank you very much. Give me my 2
Wow.
points.
That's a 2-pointer right
Chuckles.
there.
And the end of the review is Katie's new favorite movie, which you censored out.
It's actually the middle of the review, but I'll give you I'll give you a quarter of a point for that.
Thank
I
you.
think I never would have got that.
Okay, so now the scores are now 6.
Yeah,
Chase was
Jordan would
funny.
Be the type to say Chuckles.
That's why I
10
kept saying that.
10 to 7.
This
Jacob
guy's
and
cheating.
Jordan.
I'm
Commish,
not
can we get
cheating.
a rule it over here? He's
You didn't
talking
say
when
I
we're
had to like
speaking.
mute my mic or anything. You guys didn't have to listen to me.
You guys
I wasn't listening.
You guys might have blown the opportunity, Jacob and Jordan, but you rebounded well. And
I'm a
now you
ball
have a
player.
chance to take it back again. Are you kidding? Here we go. This next review, ...
That
I'll
could
repeat
be-
again. The next review is ...
That could potentially be me.
The Schnur-esque review.
I feel like I did do this, but like, what would I have done that for? I don't know. Do you think it'd be anyone else? ...
Christian has too much to say about movies, so it's not him. I don't think Chase would say ... So I'm between like you and Jagger. But I mean,
sure
like,
it's
if
me?
you think it's you, then like I'd probably
I-
trust that.
I think it's me. I just have no. I can't think of the movie right now.
20 seconds.
I mean, we could just go you and then throw out a movie. For all the audio listeners, Christian just keeps taking out his lightsaber.
8, 7, 6, 5,
And I'll say
4,
me,
3,
and I'll say Blue
2,
Velvet.
1. Final answer?
Yeah.
Is that a cake?
You guys get 1 point. You get the point for Schnur, but not for the movie.
Mm,
Shit.
still got one. I'll take
Yeah.
it.
So, Jagger, really quick, I'm a little bit concerned about this because they keep getting their own reviews.
It was totally random.
Did you not get? Did Jagger not get his review for Mahalo Drive?
Yeah, I
whatever the hell
got
it was?
one.
Maybe one, but you guys have 3 on your side right now.
No, one came to you. You didn't know it, so then I got it.
It was, dude, it was totally random. I have it all written on my page here from earlier today if you want to see it.
Let's think about a
Like,
movie
I think
here.
what Schnur would
Batman
do
one was
is
also
something,
theirs, Jordan.
something
What?
like
The Batman one was also asked to them,
Devastating.
and it got back to us.
Yeah, they're
Dot.
full of
I'm
shit.
thinking. Yo, why are you talking during I go?
They're full
Why
of
we-
shit.
what's
I'll mute
going
my
on?
mic. I'll mute my mic.
Shit.
So I'm thinking devastating. So I'm like trying to think. Like I low-key think it could be The Pianist or Schindler's List. I don't know if he wrote an extensive review about those.
I don't think it's Schindler's.
But like ... is so hard to go off of. Where he's gonna toss something like that he was like blown away by.
I'll give you
I need
guys 30
something
seconds.
something absolutely all time. What's like his favorite?
I mean, he's seen Dune how many times? He's probably logged it a lot. If we're shooting
Yeah.
numbers game, it could be Dune 2.
15.
Could be Dune 1. Let's think. Because he did just rewatch those, and I feel like this ... is recent.
5,
I'll give it to you.
4.
You can go with it.
3,
All right, let's go with the first Dune.
1.
For sure.
Jagger, you were on the right track, but Christian steered you the wrong way.
Mm,
It was Schindler's List.
Oh,
Oh wow.
oh no!
damn.
That's unfortunate. You guys
I
have
would
the
figure
point.
Schneider would give like a big review for that.
Yeah, so would
I
I.
thought, but he kind of like speechless at the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's
Something like
fair.
That movie
that.
also literally felt like it was reaching into my soul and ripping tears out of me. So I don't really have anything to say.
That's all you
So
can
the
say.
next
Yeah.
goes back to you guys now, right? Jagger and Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab
Okay.
water so I'm not interrupting Jagger's precious time. He has
Thank
no
you. Just-
idea.
I really appreciate that.
This
11-7 now.
yes, 11-7. This review says, quote, the most stressed I've ever been watching a movie.
Could be me.
Dude, it could be me too. It could be me for
Stressed
Requiem
I've
for
ever
a
been
Dream.
watching a movie. It could be. I was trying to think of what I wrote for After Hours because I was stressed. Um, I don't know if I wrote a lot.
Shit, bro. Dude, I think I don't know. If you think it's you, let's go you. But
Well, I'm not super confident. I think that one could literally be any of us too.
yeah, it can
I don't
be.
think it's Jordan, so
My-
I'd shoot a 20. We got like a 25% chance of hitting. So
Give you guys
My
20
guess-
seconds.
My guess would be me, and it would be for Requiem.
let's go with that then.
All right,
Final
lock-
answer?
Second going. Yeah.
Yeah, you could lock that in.
That's 0 for 2, unfortunately.
Pretty
So now we're gonna
confident
swing
here,
the
Jordan.
sticks to Jacob and Jordan.
I'm pretty
You know it,
confident it's
sure.
me for Good Time.
So what is the review? Because I was getting water.
The most stressed I've ever been watching a movie.
Could be good times.
I'm pretty sure it's me for Good Time.
That movie is very
No,
stressful.
it hasn't. Absolutely. I was
Was Good
Most
Time
stressed.
having heart palpitations.
so it wasn't a good time watching the movie, you're saying?
Oh, it's
It
an
was a
incredible
great time.
Oh, okay.
I bet you that review right there you're looking at is 4.5 stars.
Is that your guys' final answer?
I mean, we can go with
Yeah,
that.
like,
if
this
you-
could be anyone, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I said something like that for my Good Time
I
review.
feel like it's so general. But
Final
if you look
answer?
Me
yeah.
for Good Time, yeah.
Jacob watched this on Christmas Day. Good time.
wow, big.
So you guys get 2 points. It's now
It's insane.
13-7. Swing it
Dude.
back to Jacob and Jordan.
This guy's literally the Rain Man.
Yeah.
Who's the Rain Man?
Jacob.
Oh,
Are we just figuring that out now? I knew that back in 4th grade.
His new nickname.
all right. Swinging it back to Jagger and Christian. Oh wait, no.
Oh,
No.
we just went. oh,
Jacob and Jordan. Excuse me. This review is fuck. That caught me slipping in the end.
I mean,
not,
That's Jagger. I
or that's
think.
not me.
I think
That's
Jagger's
not
the one
you.
like curses in his reviews like that.
Well, I do, but that's not me.
Maybe.
I wouldn't say that. That caught me
I'm
slipping.
in the end.
Jagger's making fun of me for saying chuckles. I know that's him. Saying slipping.
I'd rather say slipping over chuckles.
slipping Jimmy.
Flipping Jimmy.
Let's think of movies. I feel like Jagger just wrote this. I feel like it's recent. I think I saw it.
I have to do a sneeze. I can't sneeze.
What are like the review? What are the movies that we've done for the pod? What do we start with? It's
We'll give you
Memento.
guys 20 seconds from here.
After Hours.
No. King Comedy.
Mm,
10, 9, 8, 7,
I'll lock in Jagger.
6,
could be Chase.
5,
But we'll go Jagger.
4, 3,
Schindler's List.
2,
Again.
1.
I'll say it's Jagger and it's also Schindler's List.
Schnur, you're 1 for 2 from the field. It was Jagger, but that
This
wasn't the
gets
movie.
How
So
is
you
this
guys have the
possible?
chance to get the movie.
That's me for It's a Wonderful Life.
Is that your final answer?
I'm pretty sure.
That's incorrect, Jagger.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I said
was the
something
movie?
similar.
That was your review for Arrival.
Mm.
Wow.
Wow, I'm shocked
I
you
was
didn't
pretty.
get that.
I mean, I want to look at my It's a Wonderful Life review.
I don't
Because
think
I
I've
didn't have a
seen,
doubt in my mind.
I don't think I've seen
They're-
Arrival, like the full thing.
Ooh.
Dude, it's just like Close Encounters.
Mm.
Very
Not just
similar.
like
Was
it, but it's
then?
very similar. It's very similar.
It's
Just much
wait,
better.
who was in that? I'm
Amy
thinking of like two
Adams,
different movies.
Amy
Oh, okay,
Adams
okay,
and,
okay,
Jeremy
okay.
Renner.
Jeremy
Jeremy Renner. Okay, I'm thinking
Another,
of the right
another
movie.
Denis masterclass.
We have 3 reviews left. The current lead is, what is this? Jesus, you guys have a lot of points.
7.
Murder to a little.
14-7. And there are 3 questions left, 3 reviews left.
So the game's over.
Unless there's
because-
a daily double at the
we
end.
can, we can get them wrong, and then you could steal them, and then it's you're up again, and then you get it right.
Yeah.
Well, even if we go 2 for 2 on every question,
We're
that's
down
only
7.
6.
There's 6 points.
All right. So do you guys want me to make the final question a Moneyball?
Yeah, sure. If we're still on
I
it.
feel like they
Final
can
one.
still. I don't know.
No.
We'll see how it
can't.
goes. We'll see how the next 3 rounds go, and then I'll decide if I want a Moneyball.
Okay.
All right. This review is gonna be. Give me 1 second.
No worries.
This review is the final 15 minutes. ... Why?
This is for us. This is for us,
No,
Jordan.
this is-
Okay.
Yeah, this is us.
This is us. No, this is us. You just won.
I'm
What?
almost 100% sure this is Christian for Alien Romulus.
Oh,
Well,
Wait. This
we're
is
gonna
me
go
and,
that because that's us.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
that.
this
That's
is
ours.
Jagger and
It
Christian.
is
Oh,
that.
thanks, Chase. Great.
They were
Take
saying
control
it's
of your
them.
fucking game.
They were
like
saying
3
it's
times.
us.
Take control of your fucking game.
They were
You
saying
said
it's
it,
them.
That's right, Schnurr.
I mean, he
I
could
heard
have
a
just
lot
been
of-
playing games with us.
He's
But
he's an
Dude,
absolute genius.
How could
How
he
would
even
you
know
learn
this? I
that?
have no recollection of writing that.
He's an absolute genius.
I heard a lot of
yeah,
it.
give it to the Rain Man. Let's just say.
I thought
whatever
it was
he
us too,
said.
Schnurr.
Let's just have Schnurr get us 2 points and let's go with that then.
Great.
It's probably wrong.
God,
but
please
Unless
be
it-
0 for 2.
Unless he's playing like double cop, knowing you said it's our
that would
turn,
be
then he
that would
threw
have
us
been
off.
insane work.
All
right
right. What's
away.
your guys' final answer?
Me for Alien Romulus.
Please be wrong.
That's 2 for 2. Schnurr would have
That
had
is
it.
Wow.
insane.
He's fucking
That's
insane.
insane.
Dude, that's not normal.
Oh my
I don't know.
god.
We're gonna
Sorry,
swing
Jordan.
it back.
No, I
to
thought
the
it was us
team-
too. You're good.
We're gonna
So,
swing
like,
it
I heard
back
you
to the
saying,
team
like,
that
it's
thought they
us.
were up.
I know that's yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
that's
no,
what
I
I'm
was the
saying.
one saying it's us. That's right.
This
Oh, I
review-
said
Jordan was
it's
saying it
us.
too,
I
so
said
it's all,
it's
like,
us.
jumbled.
Oh.
Yeah.
This
It's
review-
us. It's us.
is can't believe what I just watched, or excuse me, can't believe what I watched.
This is for
Excuse
us, 100%.
Yeah, you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't
Chase
believe
finally
what I
takes
watched.
control of his game. Here we go.
I think I know this one.
All right, so it's Christian.
Can't believe what I just watched.
Can't believe what I watched.
Can't believe what I watched.
I believe what I
It's
watched.
a big difference.
Yeah, I feel like I would have said what I just watched, and I don't think I would say what I watched.
Agreed. I think it's just Schnurr says something. I'm like, yeah, I agree.
Jordan, you might want to throw your light on. I can't really
Is,
see.
is Jordan playing in black and white?
It's getting dark here. I'm in Katie's room, so she's sleeping. I don't want to turn on the light.
Oh, okay.
Believe what I watched. That sounds like Jagger.
I'll give you guys 15 seconds from here. I feel like this has been a longer one.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
No worries.
We got some extra time because I just gave them 2 points.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you 20 seconds from here.
I honestly have no idea, other than the only thing I have is that it would be Jagger.
All right, let's just go Jagger then. Get
Yeah.
8 point.
You don't want to throw out a movie?
Start a movie.
Can't believe what I watched.
10, 9, 8, 7,
Jagger's 5 stars.
6, 5, 4,
Oh, Once Upon a
3,
Time in Hollywood.
2.
No, I'll
1.
say Dune 2. Jagger.
That is incorrect, but Jagger is correct. So you guys get a point for that. Jagger, what was your
Jagger, I knew
review?
this one. It's you, and it's for the movie that you recently watched from like 2000 that you were just like, holy fuck, that movie's insane.
Specific.
Oh,
Very
almost
specific.
famous.
Yeah, it's almost famous.
Oh, I
Are you
actually did see
kidding?
this.
I'm pretty sure it's almost famous.
Did I write that for that?
I'm almost 100% confident, but then it's gonna be wrong. so I don't
was
know.
pretty confident that was me, but I mean, I don't have anything else. I'm like thinking like what could blow me away like that, but
I don't know why. I think
low
think
key,
it's that one.
I mean, I think I kind
15
of said,
seconds.
I think I said like that might be the greatest thing of all time in my review.
Oh
Maybe not
fuck. So
that.
maybe it's super close then.
No, I mean, let's just go with that. Let's roll with
Yeah,
that.
that would be my guess.
I think
Alright,
he's
we're going
right.
with almost famous.
Christian is a bad teammate. Christian is a bad teammate, Jagger. That is 0 for 1. This was for Red Rooms.
Wow.
Oh,
Could
That
be.
was
What
for
did
Red
what
Rooms.
what did he write for Almost Famous? Because I remember it being almost
I
similar.
think it's like that might have been the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I think I put a quote in there too.
I am black and white.
You look green. I don't know how
I
you
know.
look green.
I was
Kinda
so
like it.
I was so confident in that, man.
Yeah,
I like knew it right off the
didn't know,
rip.
but I knew
All
it was
right.
me.
The score is 15 to 9. 15 to 9.
There we go.
If
There's
you
one
guys,
round left.
okay, how about we do this? If you guys can guess Christian and Jagger, if you can guess this one in under 15 seconds, then I'll let you guys tie and we'll go to a bonus round. I'll find a review and we'll go
Yeah,
to a bonus
book it.
round.
Deal.
If you can guess it in 15 seconds, or what did I say,
Okay.
15 or 10?
Both?
15.
Okay,
Alright, let's
15
go.
seconds if you guess both.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Timer starts as soon as I finish the review, okay?
Okay.
All right. Fell asleep for 15 minutes.
Could be me and Avatar. It could be.
I was thinking Jordan, but if that's what you got in 15
Nah,
seconds, go
five,
ahead.
I fell asleep. I fell asleep
four,
during Avatar. That's the only guess I have.
All right, Christian
Me-
Avatar. Lock
Me
it in.
One.
Avatar.
That's impressive, but it's not quite. It's Christian, not for Avatar, but for the Fablemans.
That movie sucked.
Well,
I had a similar one. I thought it was going to be mine for Little Things. I think it was like I drank a Celsius during this, like right before this movie, and then
See,
fell asleep.
I was gonna use that Jordan, but I
Yeah.
didn't because I was like, I feel like they would know right away that's Jordan.
Yeah, I feel like mine are very. Also, I have
Yours
one
are very
for-
distinct.
Did you
Notice
see
how I didn't.
mine?
I only used
for-
2 of yours because yours are very
Yeah.
distinct.
Did you see mine for
Saltburn, yes, I saw it.
Saltburn?
Yeah.
That's the one I was talking
You
about.
you also
So-
only have 8 reviews, so I didn't have a lot to work with.
Yeah, I know. I don't really review.
Jagger, for Almost Famous, you said, "Holy fuck, that might be the greatest thing ever."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I was a little bit thrown off.
I was a better
So-
teammate for your team than Christian.
Yeah.
I don't
Jacob,
think. Yeah.
Jacob and Jordan won. How would you guys rate the game? Excuse me. How would you guys rate the game like out of 5?
I give that a 5. That's fun.
I gave it a 5 out of
fun.
5 because Schnurr's the goat.
5 big booms.
Oh, good.
That's
Okay,
five booms.
good. I'm glad.
5 booms. That was a
5
good one.
booms. On the,
I was
on the
hoping my
boom meter.
Parasite review would be in there. 'Cause that
I was
one's
hoping
like,
my Saltburn one was in there, but whatever.
my Parasite one is just like haha, nice. Or something.
I was considering it. I was considering it, but I figured you would know that because like Parasite is one of your favorites, so I figured you would probably.
If anyone's curious of what my Saltburn review is, at
Oh,
the
we know it.
at the _ wildcard. I don't think I'll probably say it on this podcast.
I think we should keep that in house. If they want to go
Yeah.
find it, they can.
That's what I said. Yeah.
All right. So this next segment we're gonna do is trivia. We're gonna start off with Jagger, then we're gonna go with Christian, Jordan, and Jacob. It's gonna be 5 trivia questions based on Best Picture winners. The first question is, which film was the first to win Best Picture at the Academy Awards? A. Gone with the Wind. B. Wings. C. Casablanca. Or D. All Quiet on the Western Front.
Low key, I think it's Wings because I think I saw it today.
Correct, Jagger.
I saw that also
Correct.
when I was
That's
looking at
I've
it.
impressive.
I've never seen it, but I just saw it today.
All right, question 2. We'll move to Christian. Christian, what is the only sequel to win Best Picture? A. The
The
Godfather.
Godfather Part 2.
All right,
Okay.
that is correct. Didn't even need multiple choice.
Wow.
I knew this was gonna be easier.
Yeah, we'll see how I go.
3. Jordan,
Fun
this
fact. Sorry, fun fact. The
Oh, here we
Godfather won
go.
it for both Part 1 and Part 2.
Okay.
is you. Jordan, Jordan, you look like you're in night vision right now.
Look like I'm in a military movie.
Jordan, which 1990s film remains the highest grossing Best Picture winner of all time? Parentheses, not adjusted for inflation. A. Titanic. B. Forrest Gump. C. Braveheart. Or D. Gladiator.
Gladiator came out in 2000, so I'll go Titanic.
Correct. You guys are 3 for 3 right now. Schnur, you better keep this up.
I didn't know Titanic won Best Picture. I would've-
Well, I guess it came
Okay.
out in 1999, but won 2000. Whatever.
Perfect.
This is a lot of pressure now.
Still win. I'm a
Go,
winner.
boys.
4. Question number 4. Which director has won Best Picture the most times? A. Steven Spielberg. B. Martin Scorsese. C. Frank Capra or Capra. Forgive me for my pronunciation. Or D. William Wyler.
Okay, I know it's not Scorsese, and don't think it's Spielberg. Who is it? William Wyler and Frank Capra.
Yeah, correct.
That is correct.
I'll go with William Wyler, just 'cause it seems like thrown in there.
Incorrect.
That's wrong.
That is correct.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Go boys!
Wow.
Oh,
4 for
Four for
4.
four. All
Got it.
right.
That's it.
Cut it. You want me to just cut it there? You guys went 4 for 4.
Yeah, we all got it right.
Sure.
I love it.
All right, cool. We'll
Yeah,
cut it there.
because we
4
still got to
for
do
4.
Scorsese.
picks.
It's funny enough, Scorsese only has one, I'm pretty sure, and it was The Departed. Pretty sure that's his only best picture. Which is
That's
crazy.
pretty sick. I'm
Spielberg going in.
shocked you guys went four
Yeah,
for 4.
Spielberg got Schindler's List, and I think that's really it for them.
All right. Well, that concludes trivia for the best picture winners. So now we can jump into our picks for this week. I did pick an order. I don't know if you guys saw it in the doc. I tried picking it like on the average of what our reviews were. So we're gonna kick it off with Jordan. Then we're gonna go to Christian, me, Jagger, and then Schnur last.
Let's do it. I have my pick.
All right.
Word.
let us know.
I'm gonna rip it.
Let us
You want me
know.
to rip
Rip
it?
it.
I just mentioned it. The Departed. All time.
Okay. All right.
Favorite movies ever.
Okay.
Who hasn't seen it? Chase hasn't seen it.
No, I have seen it.
We've
Christian
all
hasn't seen it.
I've seen it.
Fuck off. I thought you guys
We've all
haven't seen
seen
it.
it.
Great. It's not getting picked. Whatever. I'll just watch it by myself for fun.
All right. Who did I say? Christian next?
Yeah, I'm between two. I'm between Unforgiven and The Last Emperor. I don't know if you guys have seen either, but I've been wanting to watch a Clint Eastwood old western because I haven't seen any of his, so I'm gonna go with Unforgiven.
All right.
Big.
All right. So next is me. I'm gonna go with Schnur. I figure you might have this pick because I'm gonna tell you why. It's on your watch list. No pun intended.
Oh my
But I know you have probably a lot of movies on your watch list. But this movie is called On the Waterfront. This is a Marlon Brando movie. I think it's from the 60s, if I'm not mistaken. I wanted to keep it in the family with Marlon Brando from last week. Obviously, he was sick, so I want to see more with him. And the plot seemed really sick. If you guys want me to read it out loud,
It's from the
and
50s.
also, Cole, I talked about it with Cole. Not that the listeners know Cole, but Cole has this movie as one of his top 5 movies ever.
That means I'll hate it.
Yeah, it
So-
probably sucks.
That's why I wanted to go with that. Do you guys want me to read the plot or no?
I'm
Sure.
looking it up.
Read it out loud.
Okay, the slogan is "The man lived by the jungle, law of the docks." The plot is Terry Malloy is a kind-hearted dock worker and former boxer who is tricked by his corrupt bosses into leading his friend to death. After falling in love, he tries to leave the waterfront and expose his employers.
Oh,
Jagger's up.
I'm really in between two. One I've seen, one I haven't. I'm gonna go with what I haven't. I'm gonna go with the 1996 winner Braveheart with Mel Gibson. It's like a 3-hour movie, but just like an absolute war epic that is I see on every TikTok filter. It's on the IMDb top 100, so I feel like I need to watch it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Also, so far I've already seen all the movies that we picked for each week. So there's
Great.
good. There's a good choice. There's a good group of choices here. I'm gonna go with another one that I haven't seen, and I'm gonna go with Amadeus. That's my pick. Which
Yeah, can you read the plot for that
you
one?
guys don't know yet. I mean, it's like about like Mozart when he's young, and I could try to find the plot for you.
Chase, it's the one where I sent the picture of the letterbox, and you're like, I would be sweating through that movie.
Oh God, I remember that so vividly.
Disciplined composer Antonio Salieri becomes consumed by jealousy and resentment towards the hedonistic and remarkably talented young Viennese composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And me and Jagger talked about this when he watched it because he watched it like not too long ago.
Probably like 2 months
That
ago.
yeah, it was like very like Christopher Nolan was very or used it as inspiration for Oppenheimer, like with that rivalry between Strauss and Oppenheimer himself, and that this rivalry in this movie was yeah, kind of like a blueprint for that in a lot of ways. My mom really wants to watch it. It's one of my mom's favorites, and she wants to watch it with me, so I figured I would pick it.
Respect.
All
Alright.
right, let's rank those then.
Yeah,
We vote, yeah.
yeah. I'm kind of struggling trying to pick one. Not gonna lie. So if you guys want to just jump in, you can. While I think.
Yeah, I have mine. The 3 that I want to watch are On the Waterfront, The Departed, and Amadeus.
I'll go with I'll go with The Departed because I am due for a rewatch and I do want Ava to see that.
This is huge.
I'll go with The Departed. I'll go with Christian. What was yours again?
Unforgiven. It's supposed to be a Clint Eastwood old western. I've been meaning to watch those. So
All right, I'll go with that. Screw it. And then I'll go with Braveheart.
Yeah. Me and Jagger actually talked about this before we started recording that we were both kind of considering Unforgiven as well. So I will go Unforgiven. I'll go On the Waterfront and The Departed.
God damn it.
What a pick from me. Oh my God.
I mean, it's pretty easy when you pick one of your favorite movies of all time to go.
Chase, what
I
was yours?
mean-
Departed, Braveheart, and what was the other one?
That wasn't under the criteria. The criteria
Oh,
was
mine.
best
Mine, Unforgiven.
picture winners.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go On the Waterfront, Amadeus, and Unforgiven.
And then Jordan, did you go?
No, I'll go Unforgiven, Braveheart, and Amadeus.
So the official pick of the litter, officially Amadeus, On the Waterfront, and Unforgiven. So that essentially, I think that pretty much wraps everything up. Apologize for the long episode. I think we just all kind of got carried away. Had a really good time. This one, at least I know I did. So, thank you all for tuning in. Really appreciate this little journey we're on. Make sure to follow us on TikTok at the Watchlist Pod _, I believe it is. Can you guys correct me if I'm wrong? The
Yeah,
Watchlist Pod _
Sounds right.
So,
yeah, we've been posting a lot there. You can see some highlights there from some of our prior episodes if you missed anything. So, we can all sign off and say goodnight to Jordan's night vision at this point.
If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the TikTok on the
That too,
on
yeah.
the screen. And follow us on Letterboxd.
Going dark. Peace.
Thanks, guys. Peace.
Have a
See
good
ya.
one.